For real? Oh no. Yes. Let's go.
Boston.
State of OH. Today. In Berkeley, California. You got it. This one's for three. AJ Hawk, $5,000. USA, USA, USA.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the DraftKings Thunderdome. On this Big Ball Tuesday, August 18, 2026, this sports program begins now.
Football!
It's awesome, and we have joint practices happening around the NFL. Look out, we got more highlights of ones taking on ones. We got scraps coming up. The Raiders are taking on the Texans in practice. Early indications are saying that guy right there is absolutely balling. Will Fernando Mendoza be the starter for the Raiders entering the regular season, or will that continue to be Kirk's job as he leads the way for the young number 1 overall pick? The New Orleans Saints, with Kellen Moore in his second year, are battling against the Cowboys all week. The Saints are a nice talking point for the NFC South because for years they've had to kind of eat shite because of their salary cap issues. Full turnover in front end in the office, and Kellen Moore becomes a head coach last year with no expectations at all. Towards the end, though, they had like a 55-year-old rookie quarterback that started getting real hot and shuck, and all of a sudden things are up and to the right for the Saints now. The number 8 overall pick, Jordan Tyson, gets hurt yet again. Okay, and he had injury issues throughout college. Whenever he was at Colorado, he tore his ACL, MCL, and PCL in his knee, I do believe. Okay, so just total knee blow. 2024, after he transferred over to Arizona State. In 2023, he got the Big 12 Newcomer of the Year, I do believe, at Arizona State. 2024, fractures collarbone. Then he gets sprained ankle in 2025. Then he strains his hamstring twice.
Yikes.
2025. And then now he has another strained hamstring. It's supposed to be 5-6 weeks, maybe the first month of the season. Kellen Moore was asked about it, with all his injury history and everything, everybody worried about him. Number 8 overall pick, it's pretty high for a guy that's gotten hurt a lot. They said, no, we believe in him. We believe in his work ethic. We saw him running his workout. He looked smooth. He looked content. He looks like he's one of the best guys. Kellen Moore said training camp, he's been absolutely balling. He just got a bad landing spot and got shoved. This is misfortune. He got unlucky in this particular thing, and he'll move on. We have seen guys who get hurt in college go on and have very long, prosperous careers in the NFL. I believe there's plenty of stories where it is just unluck and misfortune, for these guys to get injured, and I think this is potentially happening to this guy. Now, have the football gods just decided that this guy's going to get hurt and have unlucky situations on a regular basis? Seems like it. Will that stop for him? We are sure hoping so. For Tyler Shuck, we are hoping so. For Kellen Moore, we're hoping so. Because maybe the Saints are the talking point of the NFC South whenever we get towards December. Or is Baker Mayfield, who's already come out and said, everybody is betting against us. I like that. Okay, we like that, Baker. Are you going to get a new deal done down there or not? We still don't know. And then the Niners are taking on the Chargers. Okay, McDaniel, Herbert, Harbaugh, they're living their best life right now. Is the San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy will join us at the end of this week, I do believe. On Friday, we'll get a chance to catch up with him. Him and Mac Jones are the bestest of buds. Looks like their offense is rolling. George Kittle said he's going to be back, hopefully for week 1. Definitely going to be back on the field for them. Christian McCaffrey, is that contractitis or is that actual pain he's got going on? We hope he is healthy. So all these teams are obviously battling. We will watch highlights and lowlights. A lot of those coming out of these joint practices for the next couple of days. Excited that ball is happening all over the place. Speaking of ball happening all over the place, Keenan Allen, wide receiver legend, is now a member of the Indianapolis Colts, which I love. I absolutely love. 1 year, $8.32 million worth up to, probably incentive laden. But we definitely need some weapons, especially with Alec Pierce hoping to be back by week 1 after a surgery in they say ankle, but I think it's like his heelish. From my source says around the building it's more like heelish. So hopefully he'll get that back healthy. I've heard he's a stiff walker.
Sure.
So what we're seeing out of camp with him maybe not looking as comfortable, that's just naturally how he is. He's explosive. He's got really tight muscles. So like him walking tight and awkward is very status quo, I do believe, for the entire operation. So don't be looking into every limp on that left side. And think to yourself, wow, that guy can't even walk. How's he going to be a wide receiver?
Don't even see it.
He walks weird. They say naturally he's a weird walker.
That's normal.
So don't be judging this walk. He's a naturally stiff, weird walker. He also is working his ass off to get back. But there's a lot of things I've seen that think like Alec Pierce might take a little bit to get back to who Alec Pierce was, which is deep threat, explosive threat. Keenan Allen, great weapon alongside Tyler Warren, Josh Downs. Okay, now we also have Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, happy and content to be an Indianapolis Colt. If that offensive line can play like they played last year, we are welcoming this man with wide open arms to make a lot of plays for us. 3rd and 7, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Who's going to get it? The guy wearing the hoodie. Okay, and I hope we continue to make plays. I hope we continue to make moves. And whenever you look at the stats about Keenan Allen, you think to yourself, thank God that guy's on our team, especially because we don't have any damn wide receivers. That was huge news yesterday. Talks Tables here at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the hammer,
Dahn.
Cowboys AP. Tony's here. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here.
Yes, sir.
D-Butch, Keenan Allen coming to the Colts. Felt like a big move. We were working out wide receivers a couple days ago.
Yep.
It was all a bunch of people I had not heard of, and we knew Keenan Allen had been sitting out there. We should have assumed there was some interest, at least in both parties, especially with Daniel Jones and maybe the opportunity that Keenan Allen sees with the Colts?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, him being out there and him knowing this Shane Steichen offense, I think that's a big part of it. Obviously, when you're not with the team throughout OTAs, throughout mini camps, throughout a bunch of training camp, hopefully you know the system, you can hit the ground running. That's what he would do. I think he'll be great not only on the field, but, in the meeting rooms, because when you're wide receivers, you talked about, wide receivers maybe not having a ton of experience, especially in this offense. Now you have a guy who knows it like a coach. You talk about somebody who's been around. This is the active leader in wide receiver catches. Only one person in the league has more catches, and that's Travis Kelce, a first ballot Hall of Famer. So this is a guy who knows ball. He knows how to get open. He's not going to be the explosive, take the top off a defense type of guy, but he will get open. He will be a dependable target. Where will he play will be my question, because Josh Downs is a young, very talented slot receiver. So where will 13 line up is the question. But played 17 games last year. I think that's huge as well, being 34 years old. So I'm excited about this addition going into the season.
Here's who he is on a list with most receptions before turning 34. Larry Fitzgerald, Hall of Famer. Jason Witten, Hall of Famer. Devontae Adams, Hall of Famer. Andre Johnson, Hall of Famer. DeAndre Hopkins.
Wow.
So, I don't know, you started looking at the list, you start thinking to yourself, wow, we just picked up a fucking Hall of Famer. I like that we did that. And you talk about playing all 17 games. I didn't know that little nugget right there until you just said
Huge.
it. I am very pumped up to hear that.
Yeah.
Because the Colts problem has been we're good when everybody's playing.
Yep.
As soon as we lose anybody, we're kind of done for. This at least adds some depth to the wide receiver room and picks up a lot of lost yardage that we're going to have for the first couple weeks from just looking at a stiff Walker walk.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, especially a guy who's supposed to be the most explosive guy on the field.
A lot of money.
Yes.
That is who Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is, you look at him, you think that guy probably pretty hard-nosed, tough yards.
That's great.
Thinking blocking wide out, special team guy maybe.
Yeah, you think that naturally.
Yep.
You just think it's hard for us not to. Of
course.
Terrible people. It's been said numerous times. Certainly am. But whenever you look at that guy, you don't think that's the most explosive guy on the entire football field who can take the top off and also will go up on top of your head and do that. I mean, he is a mix of Randy, I would say. Randy's the greatest of all time. That is just me just saying.
Greatest deep threat of all time. Jerry's the greatest. No debate, no question.
I think there's
There is a debate. And
There is no debate on the greatest wide receiver. Let's not do this, guys.
I know. This is like
Please.
when I was disrespecting Wayne Gretzky all those years because I hadn't looked up all of his stats. Okay, and I just said Mario Lemieux greatest of all time, Sidney Crosby's second greatest of all time. Wayno can kind of fall in line. That's what I always said as a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. That is always what I said. Then somebody told me hey, do you know if they got rid of Wayne's goals? Just got rid of all of his goals, he would still lead everybody in points just off of assists and things like that. I was okay.
No, I didn't know that.
I did not know that. I guess we should potentially look into
Yeah, but Wayno said Mario was better.
Yeah, well, he said that directly to us, but he was saying that to make us feel good because, once again, Wayno's the great one.
He said it for years. He believes it.
Okay, well, he's a good guy. He is. But you're saying that I'm potentially doing that right now because Randy was by far my favorite player.
I understand that. And Jerry, unlike Randy, he will not say that. He will say he is the greatest of all time. You see the GOAT chain. Yeah, he will remind you. You can look at his stats just after 30, and he'll blow out most receivers. I mean, even his touchdown record that was broken by Randy Moss, he did that in 12 games. I think he had 22 touchdowns or whatever. So, yeah, Jerry Rice, not only Tom Brady, he'll probably be one for most people, 7 Super Bowl champs as a quarterback, but Jerry Rice is the greatest football player of all time.
Okay, so thank you for greatest
football player of all time.
Okay, all right.
Bar none.
Oh, all right.
Bar none?
Oh, my God. I mean, there's just so many things that were just
I've never heard you say that.
We can't.
Never heard you.
Wait, hold on. Did you read a book about
Today?
Is there something that showed up that you
grew up watching ball.
No, I understand that. But on this day, is there a reason you're seeing clearly right now that he is the greatest?
I played with Randy. Randy, number one pick. It's a question. Maybe, okay, just how explosive he is. He's a freak, 4'2", 6'4", 40-something-inch vert, unbelievable athlete. But when we're talking about the position of wide receiver and playing football, I think Randy will tell you Jerry Rice.
Okay, I understand. You said
football player.
You said greatest football player of all time.
I'll still say football player. Tom Brady, quarterback, 7 Super Bowl titles.
Different category.
Different category.
Quarterbacks are in different category.
Yes.
Okay.
So football player, you're talking Jerry Rice, you're talking Jim Brown, you're talking like LT.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald's maybe in that conversation. His shortened career. So a part of greatness for me is like longevity as well.
Okay.
Like Jerry was 40 years old, still putting up 1,000 yards, like with little short braids, catching pass from
Raiders.
So we putting like Ray in that conversation?
Ray Lewis?
Yeah. Because he played a long time.
Ed Reed.
Ed Reed, greatest defense player. Yeah, you talking about Reggie White? Yeah. Bruce Smith would be like it's some.
You're talking those types of guys.
Yeah, but Jerry Rice, I think if you talk to any like football people like Jerry Rice, he's on the Mount Rushmore, but he's 1 or 2, and I think the only person you're in the debate with is Tom Brady.
Okay, I like that you did that, by the way.
Me too.
It's my opinion.
I'm very
My
thankful
humble
that you
opinion.
did. Quarterbacks aside. Which make sure Dumpy, make sure you put that on said tweet. Because there's going to be other accounts that are going to pull that are going to say.
That's fine.
This guy ever see Tom Brady play?
Tom Brady is world renowned by everybody.
10 Super Bowls, seven times.
I mean, he's pretty remarkable football player. But quarterbacks aside, most important position. Guy touch the ball every single play.
Yeah.
You're just talking
Jerry
football.
put 2 quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame. I mean, they were great quarterbacks.
Hey, shout out, Jerry. I hope you're feeling the flies.
Hell yeah, Jerry.
Love you, Jerry.
Now, granted, Randy still,
I get it.
Back to the conversation. That's who Alec Pierce is, and he's not Randy Moss.
Clip that.
Don't do that. Don't do it. They paid him a lot of money.
They did.
I mean, they paid him a lot of money to be. Tone just put up a stat there. I guess he ran what?
A 4.33 at the combine with a 40.5-inch vert.
Who's that?
Alec Pierce.
Oh, yeah. I'm not.
No. This was before This was before that whole thing. This was just what we were talking about.
Let's not do this.
There's no reason why. But on that note, we paid him.
Playmaker.
When we were talking about deep threats, that's when.
Oh, yeah. He's a playmaker, for sure.
And Daniel Jones loves him. And Daniel Jones able to get him the ball. And I think he had by far his best season last year.
Yep.
And I think that's only going to continue. But as you see there, he is running, striding out. So he doesn't like walking.
Sure.
No. So that's why when you see him on a hill or something, he's just uncomfortable because he likes to be full speed. This guy, you think cheetahs just like walking around?
No, of course not.
You think these stallions like just kind of slow walking around? No, they want to stride out. That's what Alec Pierce is. Now, will he be like Randy Moss or Jerry? Jerry Rice someday?
It's possible. Time will tell.
We shall see. Anything is possible, but I would like his heel to get healthy ASAP. Keenan Allen, we appreciate you coming to the Colts. That's a huge deal. We'll have some highlights from around training camp practices, obviously, in a matter of moments. We'll continue to chit-chat about all the stories, like Roger Goodell saying we got a team going international for sure. Now, he was talking to Marcus Kuhn over there in Germany, as I assume they were promoting the international games. Shout out to Marcus Kuhn, by the way. I got a chance to learn his story. Coming out of high school, him and his dad, I guess, came to America and drove around college to college, giving like a highlight tape and dims and everything. Ends up getting into NC State, gets drafted, pick 239, I believe, to the Giants. Plays for like 4 years, ends up with the Patriots, has a touchdown under his belt right now,
beast.
obviously, in this entire thing. And he's a huge part of the international growth. So he was sitting down with Roger Goodell, and Goodell just started chit-chatting about the realities of how they view the international sport and how they view the international markets. And we know that there's like 9 international games, I think, this year, maybe 9 weekends of, I don't know, whatever the case is. There's a lot of international games. The combo about taking a team overseas has always been like kind of, is that possible? Is that not possible? Will they have a home base in America? Will they have some over there? Well, if they get this Concorde plane.
Yeah. Super plane.
If they get a super duper plane, which they've been cooking on, I guess, which they almost had. Jim Irsay came on our show, owner of the Indianapolis Colts. Rest in peace, Jim. But he had been in the owners' meetings for a long time. He had been in the owner meetings whenever they were talking about moving to Europe or London for the first time. And he said the reason why it didn't happen is because they stopped that Concorde plane.
Yeah.
The Concorde plane was supposed to be the bridge, basically, between United States of America and Europe for the NFL, and I assume many other businesses were thinking the exact same thing. That got shut down. We thought, just natural Mandela effect, I thought the Concorde plane got shut down because it was too fast and people's faces were melting off. Did you think that as well?
Something like that, or maybe just not safety or whatever. Yeah, but I
thought something like blue. I thought like
crash.
We had like an Apollo situation, and they were like,
there were a couple of those
into testing as you're piecing this together, or post.
No, with like actual like paying customers on it. Like there were a couple like really bad crashes of them.
What? Okay, so obviously not good. But I guess the biggest issue with these things is they were so fucking loud. They they were just so loud. They were like, this can't be around humans. Like this is just like so loud. I think there's advancements in this type of technology happening. So if we can go off of what Jim Irsay said, okay, to us, which was, we were supposed to go, brother. The Concorde was supposed to link us up there. If we get advancements in travel, I think that's going to expedite everything. And I think they're bringing back a supersonic plane or something like that. So I'm thinking what Roger Goodell's thinking is we had a plan in place already. Because for like 35 years now, the NFL has been pitching global. It's been a long time. Now it feels like they're closer than ever. And if you listen to what a former owner said, it's like if we can get there relatively quickly, we are definitely going to do it. And I guess we should just understand that this is what life is now with the NFL. Yeah. And flag football in the Olympics is only going to grow it even more, I think. And this is kind of the view of what the sport is. There's going to be people that don't like this SoCon, man. There's going to be people that definitely hate that a foreign country, an entity, is getting a part of our league. Because if we're going to get that, we want Manchester United over here.
Sure, that's right.
Okay,
sure.
We would like,
that.
we like Arsenal over here. We'd like something like that if we're going to help grow the game. But that is initially the response is like, why do they get a team? And it's like, well, it's good for a sport, is what they're going to say.
Great for the sport, and it'd be awesome just to see how they could do it. Like if they do put a whole entire division over there, how would they kind of operate within, bringing teams over, whether they have a home base, like you mentioned. Like I believe when we first started talking about this, Jacksonville. Like if Jacksonville had a home base over there and they were part of it, and then also did 8 games in the States. But, I mean, it feels like every year the teams come out and they're like, hey, these 5 teams are traveling the most versus anybody else in the entire NFL. And there isn't really seemingly a correlation between, like, those aren't the bottom 5 teams in the NFL at the end of the year. So I assume there is some sort of research behind it as well. Like, yes, of course, traveling internationally is tough. There's always a debate. I know whenever they play in Australia, there'll be some sort of situation where the Niners fly out one day versus the Rams. Did that help them more? Did that hurt them more? Last year, I think the Rams stayed in Baltimore for the week before they flew over to England, and they tried to do it within 24 hours, keep it as normal as possible. But I bet the NFL has a lot of research into that too. Like, yes, the international travel definitely changes things, but it doesn't completely ruin your season or blow it up. So having that international team, there's definitely some sort of, hey, we're going to be able to do this, and it's not going to completely ruin a team season.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, because you're right. We do see, like, this team traveled this many miles, and we're like, wow. And then we just kind of turn the page.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Sweet, let's go to the next one. Because if you're up there in Seattle, I mean, if you're playing anybody, you're going to be traveling a long, long way. That's far away. And they just won the Super Bowl.
They did.
So I think that kind of puts that to bed, which is what the NFL players.
That's going to suck for the players. Whoever, I mean, when we all assume London will be the first.
I think so. But Germany might be putting into quite a.
Would Mexico City get a team?
Well, definitely. If we're.
That'd be.
I think if they're going to add a team,
it would be.
I think we're talking Europe.
Strictly,
right?
Overseas, yeah.
Because that's a good question. Does Canada get a team? Like, does Toronto?
No. I don't think so.
They just beat us in the women's flag football.
I get it. They got the CFL, though.
True.
They got the CFL. They can have the CFL.
But NBA got teams up there.
Mexico City does sell out.
MLB.
Yep.
NHL.
They did say, like, Mexico City has a baked-in, massive fan base already, but I think it would have to be London because wasn't that initially the Concorde? Is like you can go from New York to London in like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So it like
we looked up all the reasons why the Concorde got canceled. It was everything we said and more. I think there's a fuel inefficiencies as well.
Sure.
That was a long time.
Yeah, it played it fast and loose.
2026.
And now Elon's going.
Yeah.
So we assume we could send something over the water, right, to get over to London and back, so we can get a football team over there. Maybe bring the world together, celebrate sports, a little unification. How we doing? Keep it moving. Well, what's the cost of those flights? Who's actually going? Great question. We'll have to figure that out later, I guess.
Yeah, and who says London only gets one? Like, what if you put 4 teams in Liverpool, in Manchester, and London? Like, what if all 4 of them
England
are?
As a whole. I thought
that's
maybe
the division.
in London.
That'd be cool too. But I'm just sure. But if they're going to
can't add 4 teams. You're saying?
No, hell no.
Yeah, that's 4 more quarterbacks.
200 more players,
Yeah, we would need.
I just assumed you would have to add at least 2 at a time, right? Can you do 33 and then one conference has one more? Or like, I don't know how that works. If they were to add just one team, does the NFC then have 15?
So do they add Mexico City and London?
Yeah, at the same time, sure.
Is that?
Can you imagine how pissed the owners would be in those respective divisions?
Oh my God, the London one, you got to do 3. Your division,
Well, and then do you automatically put the Northeast up there? Like, do the Patriots, the Giants, the Jets, do they automatically become the teams over there? Because is that the closest? I'm just strictly thinking in my head of a map. Those would be the 3 easiest ones. So would those 4 teams make up that division?
Are we realigning the entire NFL because of the international? And this is going to go to, and this is the last thought on this. This goes to Tone, the guy who saw the international things and said, "I hate this. I did see you put up a white flag."
Yeah, I did.
You're done with being mad about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's done. It's happening. I can't fight it anymore. I'm just going to accept it. I'm going to love it, and I'm going to be an NFL shill, and that's just what I'm going to do.
Okay, so Roger Goodell got a hold of this guy.
Okay.
That's what everybody's going to say. D-Butt says he hates it.
From a player's
Yeah, I don't think I mean, 9:30 in the morning game every Sunday.
I think it'd be sick.
I wouldn't mind that.
Hate that.
I love it. I love the idea of an international team. And what you just said did kind of change my thoughts a little, like adding 4 teams. Is there 4 more starting quarterbacks in the NFL? Maybe not. But it does feel like there's much more talent than there is now. And maybe that does, open up the door. Like Mac Jones. Could Mac Jones be the starting quarterback of a team right now in the NFL? I feel like yes, but I don't know.
Especially in London, too, with how he would operate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Carl Wentz, we mentioned Carl Wentz just being the automatic starter over there.
I don't think we should be building a franchise around Carson Wentz.
But if it's the London Lunatics, London Lunatics and Carson Wentz is the quarterback?
I mean, it would certainly fit the bill, but good luck. I think there's so much that goes into that. Honestly, they'll be able to figure it out because the NFL is such a successful operation. Yeah, I think you would have to have an American base, especially for playoffs. Like entire playoff.
Yeah.
You have to do that entire thing.
Yes. That and just like bringing guys
workouts.
In. Like, what a guy's going to fly over to London to work out. And like, hey, sorry you didn't. We're not going to sign you.
If we get the helicopter thing, that just kind of gets us over there in about an hour and a half. I guess you can do anything.
You're right.
Yeah, I guess you can work out in New York and then go have a workout for the London team. Yeah. Pop down to Mexico City all in a day.
Yeah, you're right.
We need a few years of trials too with these planes, right?
Oh yeah.
We don't want.
Yeah, I'm not.
No way.
First round. Yeah.
We're not getting on. They're going to be rolling those players. I bet you kicker punter first ones they send ever. All right, let's see who gets a workout. Long snapper, kicker punters. Come on, you guys first over. Let's figure this out. Scorching out of there.
Well, and if it's London, we might have a Bo Jackson situation where Erling Haaland is kicking field goals on a Sunday morning, and then he's going and playing for the EPL later on.
I saw some really jacked dude with an accent kicked on to Houston Texans training camp, maybe OTAs, I forget what it was. I don't know. This guy should think about focusing on kicking a football.
Okay.
I don't think does he know how much? I don't know if he knows how much money kickers are making, especially. This dude missed from, I think he hit from 65 or something like that.
Jeez.
I didn't see this.
I think he was an Aussie. He was a little far from the ball. Like he was a little bit far from the ball. So we'd have to move him. I think he would have to get close. But the way this guy was just stroking. I do think for the good of the game, the kicking and foot positions are the easiest access. That's how we got Australia. That's how we're getting Europe, a lot of it. I'm excited to see what the NFL does. Okay, let's pivot away from the NFL. Let's go to the biggest story of the NBA yesterday. So the Lakers sold completely to Bob Iger and Josh Kushner. Then, no, they didn't, actually, because the Buss family, of which there are 6, from my understanding, although they voted 5-1 in favor of selling the final 17.8% of the Los Angeles Lakers stake that they had, they announced that they sold it. Congratulations to us. We just sold this, and to Bob Iger and Kushner. And Shams Charania was the one that kind of announced that this deal got done, because I think all parties thought that deal got done. Then Jeannie Buss, who was the one in the 5-1, says, oh, that's cute, because you guys aren't even allowed to do that. Like, I'm the only one really that matters here. I am the governor. I am the controlling owner. We have more than 15%, so I can still run the team. That is the reason why we are here. And all your votes are void if I say no. That's what our dad said in the trust whenever he left us the Lakers. Secession in real time, feels like.
Yep.
Joining us now, a man who has been quoted by a lawyer from the Jeannie Buss camp, and also the man who reported the 5-1 vote for the rest of the Busses to decide to sell the rest of the Lakers. Ladies and gentlemen, NBA senior insider for ESPN, Shams Charania.
Yeah, Shams.
Shams, did I get that right in my reporting of the reporting? And if I got any of that wrong, can you please correct me? And good luck out there. It's hot in the streets, obviously, for you, but that's kind of the insider game, I guess. But can you tell us a little bit if I got that right or wrong and where we sit on this beautiful Tuesday?
No, I mean, you stated it all right. And so that's what we know right now. 5 of the 6 Buss siblings voted in favor of selling the remaining 17.8% remaining final shares with the Lakers, along with Mark Walter. So there's a tag-along provision that if Mark Walter ever sold, that they could then, as siblings, as part of their Buss family trust, have the majority votes to then sell along with Mark Walter. Obviously, I don't think anyone saw it coming that Mark Walter, less than 10 months after buying and officially transacting and closing on that sale of $10 billion last year, would then sell and flip for $12.5 billion. But they invoked the tag-along provision. So that's a sell of 17.8% at about $2.27 billion. And so they believe they have the majority votes to do so. 5 of the 6 Buss siblings voted to sell. Jeannie's legal team put out a letter, and her interpretation, her lawyer's interpretation, is that she is the final voice. She's the only voice, and she's clearly willing to bring her lawyers in. I mean, Jeannie Buss was the first female to ever lead a NBA team to a championship. The Buss name, the family, it's meant a lot to the NBA. There's no question. And so the siblings, the other 5 siblings and their lawyers believe that that's not how the trust works. The trust doesn't work that way, that there's only one sole person that ends up deciding, has veto powers, has say-so over everyone else's shares. And so what this is setting up to be is Josh Kushner, Bob Iger are coming in now as the majority owners. And now everyone around the NBA is waiting to see, how does this play out? How does this work? If now Jeannie Buss is making it very clear that she wants to stay as the governor, and how does this result with the siblings? First, it's a battle between them, and how this is shaping up is if the lawyer's coming out with a letter like they did last night, it could result in lawsuits, and the 5 other siblings have not retracted their vote. Their vote stands. And so where does Jeannie Buss and her legal team take this? Does she take this to the court? My understanding is this could end up being a legal battle. And I do have to say that letter included my name in it, and which I found interesting. And I just have to make it very clear. Like, I fully stand by my reporting. What I reported was that there was a majority vote, at least 4 of 6 necessary to be able to close a transfer as far as the tag-along provision. And I had a statement from the Buss Family Trust. The first line of the statement from the lawyer said that I, quote, reported the 6 Buss siblings voted to sell. That key sentence right there is inaccurate. And so I fully stand by my reporting. I've handled every story with care, including stories with the Lakers as that statement continues on. So that's where all of this is at. And so only the siblings, the lawyers involved, have access to what the trust actually says. And so the 5 siblings believe they have the majority votes, that they have the 5-1 majority votes to go along with the tag-along provision. And just think about it. A year ago, Jeannie Buss pushed the sale for $10 billion to Mark Walter. And now, a year later, Mark Walter, who is under 2 federal investigations, has sold, within a multi-day span to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger at $12.5 billion. And so the family trust believes it's now time to cleanly exit and in their words, gracefully exit. But this is now setting up to be a potential legal battle in the courts between one sibling, the controlling governor as of right now, and her 5 siblings.
Yeah, so thank you for breaking it all down on how we got here and what's going on. It is secession in real life. Everybody on the internet was saying that, but it's real. We all watched that happen, and we all started piecing together what family that actually is. And now we're seeing this take place in real time. I hope a good writer decides to do this, not like a bad one.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. You know, like when this inevitably becomes some sort of series, I hope somebody who's very talented at writing these does it, as opposed to like not doing it, because this is some spectacular American business, pop culture history happening right in front of our eyes here. Because Jeannie, right, she says that in that trust, it says that she always has controlling interests of the Lakers, right? And she's saying that's what she's kind of saying in this entire thing, right?
Yeah, and the focus of that letter that the lawyer put out was about a 2017 court ruling that she must, over her lifetime, be named the governor of the Lakers. But this battle that's going on right now, to be clear, isn't about whether she's governor or not. It's to sell the remaining ownership shares. It's not about whether she's governor or not. But in her belief, and clearly in her lawyers and her side's interpretation, is that as long as she's the governor, it doesn't matter what anyone else says. It doesn't matter what the other sibling says. It's her vote or not. And it is key to remember, she brought the deal with Mark Walter to the table last summer. And there were, I reported it months ago, and it was reported by other people that there were multiple siblings that did not want to go through with that sale. They believed it was best to wait, that it was not the right time to go through with the sale. But Jeannie Buss at that point, and the Buss family, the siblings, there was not a majority that did not want to go through with it. So they went through with the sale to Mark Walter, and now, they're obviously going to fight this potentially in the courts.
Not potentially. This is going to courts, bro. This one is this one's headed directly to a court, because if you're saying it's the final $2.27 billion, quick math divided by 6, right? Siblings, $378 million. Okay, that's another $378 million after what came from the $10 billion sale that already happened there. This one's headed directly to a court, which I don't think is great news for Mr. Walter, right? From our understanding of this entire thing, he would like this to kind of get wrapped up pretty quickly as well, from our understanding of everybody else's reports.
I mean, Mark Walter sold this so fast, and obviously there's a lot of legal aspects to all of this as well. But, Josh Kushner and Bob Iger, they're coming in at about 65%. So if they do get the remaining about 18%, that would put their valuation, their percentage of the team at about 83%. And so, if you're Josh Kushner and Bob Iger, you're buying into this team. Josh Kushner, to my understanding, was set up to be the controlling owner upon entrance of this, with Bob Iger handling a lot of the leadership in the day-to-day operations at the ownership position. And so if that's the case, how are you... and Bob Iger went on the record saying, like, they have a lot of respect for Jeannie Buss, and they intend to honor the word of Mark Walter and Jeannie Buss. But if things change, they'll change, to paraphrase. And so how does this family aspect play into that? And then when they buy into the team, if this is still being battled out in the court, how are they handling it? Is Jeannie Buss still the controlling governor at about 17% when they bought in at 65%? And what's interesting here is last Tuesday, a Lakers VP of finance actually called for a meeting to create a new trust to basically lock down and freeze everyone's shares through the next 4 years, which would line up with the remainder of Jeannie Buss's governorship. And the family did not agree to it, to my understanding. They didn't, I think everyone was caught off guard. Like, why is the VP of finance, on a random Tuesday trying to lock in all of the votes or lock in all of the shares of the team to a new trust? Well, then a day later, the sale happens, the sale occurs. So it's unclear who knew what, and to try to freeze the shares a day before the Mark Walter to Josh Kushner, Bob Iger deal happens, it's unclear who knew what when that call was made by the VP of finance to the...
All right, Shams, we appreciate you, man. Good luck out there, okay? And thank you for all the information. Seems like there's a lot of drama. LeBron is not a member of the Lakers anymore.
No. He knew it.
This is...
Got the hell out of town. They would have been blaming him.
Oh, seriously. God, could you fathom how much if he was still on the Lakers right now? Like, Luka's like, I just got here, kind of. It's pretty crazy. They bought a team, though, for $12.5 billion valuation that has no stadium or no arena. It's not theirs, right? Do they have a practice facility that they own?
I wonder. Have to. You'd assume, at least.
They got the brand.
Yeah.
They got the brand of the Lakers for $12.5 billion.
Iconic.
Iconic. Right now, you know what's going to be iconic about it? Jeannie Buss ain't giving that shit up.
No way.
No way. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's legitimately what it feels like. 5 siblings, and this has been happening for a while. If you read the thing, there's been some rumblings about how not happy. And we watched the session.
Yeah.
We know how different story, but kind of similar angle, it feels like. Everybody wanted that, from the dad, but also the business and everything like that. So whenever she gets named governor, automatically it's like yeah, right, dude. So then that whole thing starts taking place. They decide, we actually have power now. We can vote. This is going to take forever to settle.
Yes.
That's basically what happened. And Pat, one key thing to also point out, so when Jeannie Buss struck that deal with Mark Walter, the siblings kind of had to fall in line. They went with it. There was a deal that she would be the governor for the next 5 years through 2030. So there's 4 more years left. Well, you know what happened in the ensuing months after that transaction took place? All of the other 5 siblings were terminated and fired from their role. And now, less than a year later, 5 votes against Jeannie Buss.
Hey, Buss family, good luck out there.
Yeah.
Honestly, this one's
messy.
Yeah, this one's going to be loud. $378,333,333 to each individual sibling would be what 6 piece of the $2.27 billion. That is 17.8% of the $12.5 billion valuation of the Los Angeles Lakers. That's up for grab. We appreciate you. Good luck.
And I got to say to all the lawyers, I did not report all 6 siblings. I reported majority. So that's the last thing on that. And also,
it's not the lawyers.
No one ever knows.
Oh, yeah. You're okay. Shams. See you, ladies and gentlemen. Shams Ronnie. I appreciate you.
Shams.
Yeah, he's probably doing it. And I'm not dead, so life is pretty good.
Yeah.
Woke up reading the... Oh, no.
That
That sounds like a lot of legalese right there.
What about me?
As I was reading that thing.
Gentle persons.
Gentle persons. Okay, that's a group of people. Who could they be talking about? 6th word, Shams. All right, sweet.
It's high.
This isn't that big of a deal, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 6 words, Shams. Yeah, I literally counted that just to make sure. Like, hey, I just want to let you know that they wanted to get yours in there as soon as possible. Shams said, hey, I'm sticking by it, man. I got my reporting, and they'll go through it all.
Yep.
They will go through it all.
Certainly.
They're going to find out, hey, yeah, don't delete anything. And also, we're going to see it all. So, well, I can't give up my my sources. They're like, no, yeah, it won't be for public consumption, but we'll definitely go ahead and look around at that entire thing. It's $378 million a person per. I mean, they could give up $100 million in lawyer fees, to figure this entire thing out. I mean,
Wait, Joe Pomp tweeted also that there's a last man standing clause. So if any of the siblings are to pass away, their shares go to the other 5 immediately or whatever. So that's part of it as well. But they do have their own practice facility. They built one in 2017.
Okay, so if you divide 378,33333 by 5 now, right? Because you got to split that up into 5. Okay, that is an extra $75,600,000 per.
Okay.
You know, just
and not going to the family of the dead sibling.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
They're all alive.
I agree.
I'm just saying.
I hope they come together.
Part of it.
Yeah, a lot of money.
There we go.
A lot of good.
Put our swords down.
Come on, there had to be some good times somewhere. Jeez, Louise, man. That got loud, dude.
Don't get the rights to this story.
I hope it's somebody good. I really do. Because if that gets put in the hands of some shite writer, I mean, you can really make this a mockery, because there's a lot of cartoonish shit seemingly about the story. But if we write this thing as a real thriller,
Oh, yeah.
you can really get us trapped in there. Especially with the Lakers. And I need that guy on rollerblades.
Yeah, you're right.
I need that,
Oh, yeah.
Showtime.
Yeah.
I need that guy.
I think Adam McKay did Succession and Showtime, didn't he? So if they give it to him, maybe that might
Feels
help
like,
a lot.
hey, we need you to put
Kind of a sweet spot.
Yeah,
put your two
combine
words.
those two.
Okay,
Different spin on it.
we're going to all need a different spin on what?
On this story. Like, I mean, obviously the real story is awesome, but just out of left, just George R.R. Martin.
Dragons?
Get some dragons in there.
There's a chance.
Game of Thrones twist.
I mean, we don't even know, right?
Red
Wedding. Yeah.
House of Bus.
I mean, who knows what's actual here? Who knows? I hope there's no dragons.
Genie, first of her name.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys have gotten into the
I'm open-minded.
I know, I heard. What was the new one that they...
House of
the Dragon. Pretty good.
Very good.
I know, you love it.
No, Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is the one we've been trying to push on you, though. That's the most, no dragons, just knights stabbing each other and shit.
See, that was the one I didn't get hooked.
Yeah, well, it feels like...
Sir Duncan.
I feel like I know I feel like you like the dragons. Yeah. That's probably why.
I mean, yeah. I like dragons.
So do I. Hey, I hear you.
I watched Tires season 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fantastic.
How was it?
Might be it's their best one yet, I think.
Okay.
I think Shane and Matt really, really cooking in there. Available now on Netflix. I believe it's season 3 of Tires. Good for him. I think after season 1 of Tires, I got a chance to chat with Shane, and I was like, this could be the... He's like, yeah, it's a fun avenue. They've really found their groove there. I think it's the best one they got. Have you seen season 3 yet?
Yeah, I've seen some of it.
I think it's the best one they got. What an angle. You know what a tire shop You know?
Yeah.
You can really
Just
dive.
debauchery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the amount of things that are allowed and okay in that world, unbelievable. Congrats to Shane and Matt, obviously. Way to go, lads. Keep it going.
work,
Well done,
boys.
lads.
Sort of stadium to talk.
Yeah.
Record, right?
Yeah. Unbelievable. Selling out stadium just to talk. Chappelle showed up. Absolutely smashed it. Who do you have play? He had some ridiculous musician. It was somebody ridiculous. God, I should remember this was a few weeks back. Whatever the case. Congrats, Shane. Tires is a hit, brother. Season 3 is your best one yet. Okay, let's pivot away from House of Dragons and
It's worth
3-6 Mafia.
It's
Shane had 3-6 Mafia.
Really?
Yeah.
Were they in Memphis? Where were they?
No, Philadelphia.
Yeah, at the
in the
link.
stadium. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's
3
the connection there, you know?
I think
Bangers.
Shane just said, yeah, hey man, I played football around the time whenever you guys were really Meek Mill obviously came out, but 3-6 Mafia. But yeah, I remember it being somebody ridiculous. 3-6 Mafia playing in 2026 in a stadium is ridiculous and awesome.
Yeah.
I'd just like to thank them for everything. And I was never really a pop collar guy, but I do respect that they really changed an entire generation of people. People had 3 of them things.
Oh, yeah.
They did.
That was outrageous.
Quite the crossover.
It was a good time. That was a good time back in the day. Okay, let's move to baseball. There's something happening with a guy in Chicago that we've only seen a couple other times before. Do you know the WAR leader, okay, wins above replacement, has been a 30 for 30 guy only 2 other times in the past?
I did not.
30 home runs, 30 steals, and also the wins above replacement leader has only happened 2 other times since the Mookie Betts, Mike Trout.
Boom. Good company.
PCA is on track right now. For those that don't know baseball, WAR it accounts for your defense, your running, your hitting. And if there was somebody be taking your spot, how many wins have you provided over somebody else playing your position? Relatable person in your position. He's currently in a lead right now. It's absolutely absurd. And then there's something called a WPA or WAP. I forget what it is. Winning probability added. There it is. Win probability added, which quantifies the percentage change in a team's chances of winning from one event to the next. Okay? Post the 6th inning, 7th inning and on, PCA clutch. We're talking 31% higher than everybody else in baseball.
Wow.
This is just at the plate. Okay, so WAR basically is a defensive stat, but they account for what you do on base and how you run. But WAR accounts for the defensive side of it as well. WPA is just at bat. This guy in what he's doing at the plate, late down the stretch in games, better than anybody. And then he becomes a 30-30 guy on a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 10th in a stadium that isn't normally good for lefties. Okay, so in the last 40 years at Wrigley, what he's been able to do as a lefty, different than everybody else. It's not an easy park for the lefties. Or no lefty has slugged over 600 at Wrigley in a season in more than 40 years because the wind comes in from there. You know, it's not a lefty's ballpark. PCA says this is my ballpark. And it seems like he's just a gamer. You know, late in the game, it's like we need one, let's get it. Bat flip, ridiculous. Scenes last night, outrageous. Not only on the field, also in the stands. The Cubs, fun story. Fly that W.
Yeah.
Fly that W up there
right.
in Chicago for the Cubs.
There it is.
Joining us to chit-chat about PCA and also everything else happening around the baseball world. World Series champion. Ladies and gentlemen, 13-year MLB vet, 4-time Golden Glove, the Haas, Eric Hosmer.
Yeah.
What's happening, fellas?
Big Haas, how you doing, brother?
Doing great, Pat. Congrats on the banger, man. Hell of an album, dude.
Come on, Hans. You're going to get killed for saying that, but I thank you for listening to it and for the love there. Now, let's talk a little bit about bangers. PCA is outrageous. There was a time this season where everybody was calling him the worst human on earth.
Yeah.
He was saying some stuff, one particular line to a lady in the outfield that really went wild. He was missing throws on the way back in. He wasn't hitting well. There was a time where people were saying PCA was maybe a ASS, and I didn't like that, not one bit. Now he's seemingly best player in baseball, obviously up for the MVP against Shohei. What have you seen from him? Why does this happen with some players? And will he be able to carry this all the way through October?
Man, he's for sure the most electrifying player in baseball, man. I mean, this double right here in the 8th inning, you see the left fielder dive to cut that off. I mean, PCA, that's a guaranteed triple. If the center fielder's not behind him, that's a home run inside to Parker. Like, he's electric on the base paths. Pat, you mentioned Wrigley Field. You see right here, right field line, it's 350 down the lines for the hitters there. So Yankee Stadium's like 307. Tough ballpark to hit there. It gets shorter in the gaps, but that's a big line down there for Wrigley Field. And then also in Chicago, Zito can tell you guys better than anybody, it is freezing till about mid-May. So to hit at Wrigley Field early on in the season is very tough. So I can see PCA riding this out throughout the rest of the year, and man, is it fun to watch. First pitch homer last night, and then the last pitch you saw, a walk-off homer, just electrifying.
Yeah, lead-off home run for PCA, and then walk-off homer last night to become 30 for 30, 30 and 30. And it should be a 30 for 30 on what PCA has been through this year and the way people were kind of talking about him. Cubs have a chance to go win it all this year? Just vibes high? Because they're saying it's feeling like the lovable reunion that they were having. Similar type mindset in the Cubs dugout, clubhouse,
both,
locker room,
both,
change room.
Yeah, you're speaking good ball.
Bullpen.
Where do we hang out? They're saying it feels like similar vibes, though. Is that always said whenever good things are happening for Chicago, or does this team feel a little different?
Yeah, the Cubbies, you're seeing PCA go from the dugout, and he's riding into the clubhouse there. And the Chicago Cubs, man, that support staff that they have, those guys in the clubhouse, VJ, Danny, I mean, you see what they do to the lights here. It's like a party in there, man. So every big league win that these guys get, they're celebrating each and every night. So the vibes are extremely high in Chicago. It's the 10-year reunion, like you mentioned, for the team in 2016. This team is good, Pat. They went and added some big pieces at the trade deadline. They're very good defensively. When you look at their defense up the middle, Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner, shortstop, second base, and then obviously PCA. I mean, that's the best in baseball, in my opinion. Dansby Swanson is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks now. That's a big blow for their defense because now what that does is Nico Horner is going to move from second to short. They're going to put this youngster, Pedro Ramirez, at second base. So their infield defense is at a little bit of a risk with Dansby being out, but we're going to see that tonight play out because Clay Holmes, sinker baller, really pitches to contact. So we'll see how much that affects them tonight, especially.
I like pitching to contact. Sinker baller there. You know, he gets the defense active. You know, the boys' gloves are popping when this guy's pitching. That's what we're throwing for. Jesse Rogers, to your point about Dansby Swanson, it's great too. Oblique strain, 4 to 6 weeks. Would be back for the postseason, which is obviously when it matters. Everybody's talking about PCA potentially being, you know, the MVP. Maybe the Cubs win it all if Dansby gets back in there. The team that allegedly has the MVP and also going to win it all is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They got a lot of stars over there. How they paying all of them? Huh?
Good question.
Is anybody? Where's all this coming from? A lot of people are asking that question. But on that note, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Haas, this is kind of a two-parter. Last time we talked to you, we asked, you know, hey, how concerned are you with the Dodgers? And it was kind of like, hey, no big deal. They've lost a couple in a row. But Edwin Diaz has absolutely stunk. They can't hold on to a lead. They kind of, the good teams in the NL are continuing to win, and they're beating the Dodgers. And I know you're not a lawyer, but this whole Mark Walters situation, do you have any idea how this could potentially impact the Dodgers? I saw earlier today that, like, if he were to have to sell the team, Shohei has, like, a poison pill thing in his contract, essentially, that says, like, he can opt out whenever he wants. A lot of people were saying they won't be able to defer payments to guys anymore. So, like, the roster as a whole and how the Dodgers have been constructing their team could change massively if he were to have to sell it. So, just kind of go in on the Dodgers and what you're thinking about them as of right now.
And it might save baseball, they're saying.
Could.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Ty, I'm definitely not a lawyer, and I just heard Shams before coming on here. It sounds like Shams got some big rain coming, and he don't know when. So I'm definitely not going to get into that, buddy. I'm going to stay away from that. But he does have the opt-out in his contract, Shohei Ohtani, that if they change ownership, he can opt out and become a free agent. So that'll change the game in a big way. And the Dodgers, obviously, they're getting a lot of players to have deferred money, and that's how they're able to spend all this money they're spending on players. But don't get it twisted, fellas. They're making a lot of this money because of that man right there, Shohei Ohtani. And this is crazy right here. Think about this, fellas. Before we had YouTube and social media and shows like you guys that are pushing the game like they are, Shohei Ohtani did almost the same thing last night as PCA. He didn't hit a walk-off, but he had 2 homers, 4 hits. But you kind of forget about him on the West Coast because we were just so locked in on the White Sox and the Cubbies. But to your point, Ty, I think when you hear Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers, speak in his press conferences, he is trying to wake up his players, man. Like, you can see he is not happy the way they're playing. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, we set the standard here. We're playing against ourselves, not the other team, and we're not playing up to our standard. So to hear Dave Roberts say that, that's kind of that wake-up call before October here, and you can't just turn it on. We got to be playing good going into October.
I like that your guys' skippers talk to the team through the media as well. Yeah, because we do that a lot in football. I mean, every time a coach goes up there, media member asks the question, and then the response is going right to the players. Hey, this is how we're answering this question. This is how we're responding. This is our mindset for this week. Because before we would even get into meetings, our coach would speak. Chuck would speak on Tuesday, our meeting Wednesday morning. If you listen to that on Tuesday, you knew exactly what Chuck was basically going to be saying on Wednesday morning. What's our mindset? How are we talking about who's healthy, who's not healthy? I like to hear that happens in baseball because I thought those guys just did a lot of attaboy.
Well, you got to think, too, Dave Roberts, he's on the way to Cooperstown as a manager. He's going to be a Hall of Fame manager. So, Dave Roberts, this is probably the third or fourth time he's tried to send that message to his players. Excuse me, fellas. That's probably the third or fourth time he's tried to send that message to his players, and it hasn't gotten through. So him speaking through the media, that is definitely sending the message for those guys to wake up.
Oz, I like you're getting choked up about it. How could you not get passionate about it? This guy's a future Hall of Fame manager.
Yeah, exactly.
And the boys
got to send me a cough button, man. I'm a big user of the cough button.
Yeah, me as well, brother. Me as well. We witnessed some history the other night. Go ahead, Con Man.
Yeah, Hazo, Joshua Baez. He hits 3 home runs in his MLB debut. Now, I'm not completely sure, but I think he's 0 since. Probably the greatest debut. And also, have you seen kind of if this is sustainable after the 0 kind of run? Or is this one of those things like, hey, guy had the greatest first game ever and now let's send his ass back to AAA?
He definitely had the greatest debut ever, man. 3 homers. The first one he hit 449 feet, and then he just did it all. Pulled a changeup, hit a breaking ball the other way. He's got pop, man. He's got power. When you look at his metrics, the bat speed, they compare to Giancarlo Stanton and Junior Caminero. So the power is real. He's definitely going to hit homers. He's long and lanky, man. As a hitter, you want to have short arms so you're able to stay through the zone, and you want to get extended. So pitchers are going to try and tie him up in. I think he can hit homers, but it's going to be hard to hit at the big league level consistently with those long arms, man. He's a long, lanky guy, but he's got some power for sure. That ball's crushed.
Oh, that ball's going inside on him for the rest of his career. Yeah. Okay, so this is just like in football, they get a book on somebody. Mm-hmm. At the beginning, you can kind of get surprised. You can surprise people. They don't really know you. Every pitcher that is about to pitch to this guy saw what this pitcher did and said, what a fucking idiot. Why are you putting it on the outside corner against this guy? And now every pitcher's just burning the inside zone on Baez, so he's getting choked up on everything.
Yeah.
There you go. You can see there. The catcher's setting up inside. They missed outside. So he tried to get in there and tie him up, but he got those arms extended.
How about the catcher going, we are over here, pal. All right, let's go. And then just lets it slip a little bit outside, and it's gone. Good for him. He'll never see a pitch on the outside of the plate ever again, though, right? That's what we assume here, Haas, for the rest of his career?
Definitely not a fastball either. They're not going to let him get those arms extended.
It was a hell of a first game.
It was cool.
Best of all time. Yeah. Best of all time. He's going to have to figure out a little chopper. Mm-hmm. He's going to have to figure that out. Who knows if he got it. Speaking of chopper, you got some incredible shit behind you here. I mean, you got what appears to be, I don't know what the bats are. The see-through bats, they're incredible. Gold gloves.
Yeah, Silver Slugger.
Silver Slugger. Okay, what's that mean? You hit over what?
Silver Slugger, so they give that. Louisville Slugger gives it to the highest or the best offensive production from each position, American League, National League. So that was in 2017. And then the other one far over here, that's the All-Star Game MVP. Hell yeah. That was in 2016. And I hate to keep quoting you, your album, and all your boys, but your boy Reese once said you got to let a naysayer know sometimes. You know what I mean, Pat? So
yes, you do.
Throw it up there in the background.
Yes, you do. And that's not the only thing that's back there. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, I'm always intrigued by the background, but that bottle that's back there, that Louis XIII bottle, I was introduced to that, unfortunately, my rookie dinner when some old head won it. Then I returned the favor. Shout out Devin McCourty who got me one. But what's the story behind that bottle?
So that's my boy Daniel Duffy with Kansas City. We all came up. He got drafted 2007. I got drafted 2008. We all played in the big leagues, won a championship, and then 2017 was our last year of free agency, and we all played our last game together. We got to stay in the clubhouse after, and Duffy got me that bottle, had all the boys sign it, and it was so cool, man. We were all supposed to fly out that night and go back home for the offseason, and we ended up staying in that clubhouse for about 4 or 5 hours, just having some drinks. Our wives and girlfriends came in there, and we were just talking about the good old days, man.
Hell yeah.
Hey. Good for you, Hawk. That was a big part of the problem with our World Baseball Classic team.
bingo.
Yeah, we're hanging out in that clubhouse till 4 or 5 a.m.
I thought it was the offseason.
Sean Casey's back on first base. Got a lot of stories to tell. Okay, and then all of a sudden the boys lose to Italy.
Yeah.
Okay, that can't be happening, Haas.
Got to bounce back. That's the lesson here. Got to bounce back, boy.
They didn't.
That's right. You can't hoot with the Owls and not soar with the Eagles.
Bingo.
The Eagles, that baby.
Maybe Haas should coach the team.
Yeah, something to think about.
Okay.
You said it, Connor. Hey, that's no disrespect to D-Row.
Well, on this end, I think D-Row knows it. It's a little bit.
Roman Anthony, by the way, back AAA ball or whatever on assignment in Portland.
Yeah, perfect. He's playing AAA at some of the most important times of the season. Great. Thanks a lot, D-Row.
Yeah, see, that's what you're staring down if you become the World Baseball Classic coach, and we would certainly support you. We appreciate you, Big Haas.
Appreciate you, fellas. Tell Tony I'll take good care of his boy at WBC next year.
Boom! Guess what? You're hired, Haas. You got the job.
I don't know if we have that power. We are massive supporters, though, of the World Baseball Classic.
Certainly.
We would just like to see none of our favorite players playing in it. You're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, Haas.
You are still blaming D-Row for a lot of things. Why don't you people in New England just be happy for one time, okay? Roman Anthony had a little bit of a struggle, okay? He's going to get back healthy. He's going to play even better. The Red Sox are going to go on a run. Also, this football season, you guys are going to celebrate, by all accounts, Mount Rushmore tight end in the history of ball. Yeah. Rob Gronkowski. Now, here's a guy who was untackleable, okay? Had a catching wingspan of, 14 feet, seemingly, from all the way at his tippy toes all the way up to when he's on his tippy toes this way, caught everything, was always open, allegedly didn't read much, didn't study the playbook, but somehow knew where everybody on the field was at all times. Always ran the perfect route. Him and Tom Brady obviously did magical things, not just in New England, but also down in Tampa Bay. He's the only tight end in the history to have 10 touchdowns in 5 seasons. He did that in his first 6 years in the NFL. So when you talk about a guy who's just outrageous, Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League graduate out of Woody High, obviously from Buffalo. What he did to the Colts was a little bit bogus, and I didn't love, but you're talking about special athlete, special player being honored, and I think he deserves every single thing he gets, Steve.
Absolutely. We started with the GOAT conversation, talking about Jerry Rice, Randy Moss. Gronk is definitely in the GOAT conversation when it comes to tight end. What he did as a receiver, unbelievable. What he did as an inline blocker, a lot of times he was at the point of attack in the run game, which is kind of rare for a tight end. Just a special talent and a great locker room guy.
Great vibes. He's always the same. I don't think he's ever changed. I don't think he ever will. And the guy's going to go down as GOAT. So congrats, Gronk.
Love you, Gronk.
Congrats, brother. All right, we're back. Hour 2 with Schrags, AJ Hawk, and a lot more. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. Take 3.
Rest in peace to the greatest dog of all time, Valor.
Wake up in the morning, smoking coffee, no cream. Scroll the feed, see some tweets or some crazy ass scenes. Trying to get to some money with our Powerball dreams. Cause when bills start stacking, we all feel the heat. We all hate the same folks, mostly lame bros. All the ain't Karens need go back where they came from. Cause we living, baby, we gotta get it daily. Wish we'd all spark up and light up all the shady. Yeah, I got a pit bull and a mugshot, putting cliches up in a tough spot. Got some kin who are shooters and some folk who are movers, and a buddy down the county running roughshod. We all got problems and bullshit that we go. System missing the mark, leaving us doing the most. From the burbs to the country, all the way to the hood. We can all get along and motherfucker we should. We all hate the same folks, mostly lame bros. All the ain't Karens need go back where they came from. Cause we living, baby, we gotta get it daily. Wish we'd all spark up and light up all the shady. Yeah, I got a pit bull and a mugshot, putting cliches up in a tough spot. Got some kin who are shooters and some folk who are movers, and a buddy down the county running roughshod. Different paths, similar scars. Avoid bullshit, it's so hard. So raise your smoke, whatever's your drink. We're more alike than we think. Forget the labels and the hate, they divide and conquer. We're all on the same rock together, we should wander. Yeah, I got a pit bull and a mugshot, putting cliches up in a tough spot. Got some kin who are shooters and some folk who are movers, and a buddy down the county running roughshod. Yeah, I got a pit bull and a mugshot, putting cliches up in a tough spot. Got some kin who are shooters and some folk who are movers, and a buddy down the county running roughshod.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, and welcome to our humble abode, the DraftKings Thunderdome. On this Big Ball Tuesday, August 18th, 2026, hour 2 of the program begins now. Football! It is the greatest. We're so incredibly lucky that we get a chance to chat about it every single day, and we are so close to football season. You can taste it, but then a report comes out, and they're like, yeah, he's out for 2 to 3 weeks. They're hoping to have him back for week 1. It's like, God, we're still a full hamstring injury away from week 1 happening. But then you respond back and you think to yourself, good, boys are going to be healthy for the regular season, as we are just on the precipice of maybe the biggest and best season yet. I cannot wait to get started. Obviously, September 5th will be Dahn in the Bayou, Louisiana. LSU hosting Clemson as College Game Day starts its epic run through college football this season, which is potentially going to be the biggest and best season yet. The Big Ten obviously running wild in the AP rankings yesterday, and then in the coaches poll last week. And then Tone will debut his top 10 here in a matter of moments. But college football is in training camp. College football is starting soon. College football has a guy named Tyreek Robinson, who Coach Narduzzi's a little bit worried about if you listen to his press conference from yesterday.
You know, off the field, just little things he drives me nuts with. You know, like eating fish out of the river. That's not a good thing.
Okay, so there's a river, 3 of them in Pittsburgh. Obviously, they're all disgusting. You were told do not swim in there. And Tyreek Robinson, who's a returner / wide receiver for Pitt football, looking to make his name as a wide receiver this year, he said, I'll go fish for my own food tonight. And Coach Narduzzi had to tell him how many, there's a lot of diseases in there. Okay, we need not be touching any of the fish that are in the Monongahela, the Allegheny, or the Ohio. You need to keep your body away from that water as well. You can be on a boat, maybe. Don't even look at the water, okay? Don't need that. But that's the type of stuff that's coming out of college football. That's the type of conversation that only happens in the beautiful sport of college football. Let's go to one half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys, AP 10. Do you have Pitt on your top 10 strictly because their players are eating fish out of waters that we know you're not supposed to be eating fish out of or eating anything out of? Or did you leave Pitt out of your top 10 because of that?
No, I like Pitt this year, but that just definitely knocked them down a notch. They have a great quarterback, OC. But no, you should not be eating fish out of any of the rivers connected to Pittsburgh in any way. There's a do not eat advisory in that situation. So no, Pitt is
do not touch, do not eat, do not look, do not accidentally fall, do not any of that. Jeez. That's been since before we were born. I mean, that is.
I mean, what the hell's going on in those rivers?
Exactly.
Making steel, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Tell me.
They got bodies.
That too.
That too, yeah. I mean,
that's why you cook.
I don't think it works.
You're the fish.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus. That's 9-year NFL vet there, Shea Butler. Thought you were getting a different way. Let's go to the talks table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. A man who's in an attic in Ohio is a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup winner, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, A.J. Hawk. Hawko, Tone's got his top 10, and whether or not it's because of their eating habits, we're not 100% sure, but he's got you guys at Ohio State ranked number 2 behind Oregon. Tone, what's the swap for there, and how do you see it shaking out, Big Ten versus SEC?
Yeah, the 1-2 swap, huge move there, obviously. I think it's just respect for the guys that have gone to the NFL the last 2 years. They've had 25 guys drafted the last 2 years, which is insane, not to mention the guys that were drafted on the defensive side of the ball in the last 2 drafts and in the top 10 of this last draft in Pittsburgh. And then you have a new coordinator in Artie Smith. Now, I know Ryan Day, it's his system. It's his offensive system. It's just, I mean, a very, very little thing. I love Oregon and their defense and their D-line, and I'm a big Dante Moore guy. So I think it's just very, 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 very thin margins right there. Notre Dame has the most returning production in the country off of a team that was very good last year. I know they didn't make the playoffs, but I'm a big CJ Carr guy there. Put Indiana at 4 just because their offensive line is going to be great. They brought back a ton there. They brought back a ton on the D-line. Their receivers might even be better this year than what they had 2 coming out of the draft this past season. Mine is just a Josh Hoover question. I have to see it before I believe it in that situation. He had some turnover issues at TCU. But Mendoza wasn't, burning the barn down coming out of Cal either. So I have high expectations for what Sig will do with Hoover in that situation. People are a little down on Miami.
What's that all about?
Tell them why. Tell them why. It's because, Bain, Mesidor, Trenches, Mainoa, Markel Bell, I guess, is tearing it up for the Eagles out of it. But we talked to some people. They're very high on their O-line, so I'm going to be high on them, and I like Mensa a lot. Georgia's returning a ton. They're in the top 10 in returning production. They've won the SEC. Gunnar Stockton's great. I'm good there. Texas, I have a lot lower than a lot of people have, even though 7's not that low. I'm just going to need to see it out of Sark and Arch and the boys. They have a ton of talent. And then Texas Tech was my only team in the top 10 that wasn't in the AP top 10. They return a ton, and their schedule is an absolute joke.
Yeah, but they
did do that.
How many guys are gambling?
I didn't factor that into my rankings.
Okay, you didn't say, well, nobody likes them over there.
Actually, if anything, it boosted them a bit.
I think bunker mentality potentially for Texas Tech, very real. Coach Joey McGuire's come out and talked about it. Cody Campbell's even come out and talked about it. It's like, oh, we're the worst people in the sport, huh? Okay. After everything that's been going on in this particular sport, we're the worst ones. Okay. And everybody was like, yeah. You are. This is the one thing that we can't do. Okay, all right, sounds good. And they're in their own little world over there, down in West Texas. It is a beautiful campus. It is a beautiful community. And I think if they harness all this energy properly that everybody else has been sending into them, they can be even more motivating. You talk about their guys looking like dominant. David Bailey, I guess, is maybe best player on the field for Jets. I think he's over at the Jets or whatever they're talking about. So who knows? Then you got Winnedad at 9, and then Mateer at 10, who they're saying is bigger, stronger, faster, and he was supposed to win the Heisman through the first 4 weeks last season. I like your top 10. I don't hate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, and there's like the 9-10, there's a group of like 5 SEC teams there, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Alabama, LSU, Texas A&M, who could probably be 9 or 10 in that situation. I just am not going to bet against Lacey and Winnedad, and they got a bunch coming back on the defense side of the ball. And then Oklahoma, the same. Listen, they bring almost everyone back on offense, and then with Venables calling the defense again, I'm very high on Oklahoma.
It's not Sorsby playing quarterback for Texas Tech.
No.
It's a guy from last year.
Will Hammond.
Yeah,
Beast.
He played last year a little bit.
Okay. But he tore his ACL, so who knows when he'll actually start. Right?
Yeah, he was very good.
Very good.
Then they get second quarterback and third quarterback in, I think. And that was kind of like the big, can the quarterback play good enough for this team to be able to go on a run? Mm-hmm. He was good, though, whenever he was playing. But they don't know if he's going to be back healthy week 1, even though they're hopeful for it.
Yeah, the report was week 3, I think. But
originally, but now, they came out and said, like, hey, he's probably going to be good for week 1. Baron Morton started a lot of the games last year, but when he was hurt, Will Hammond came in, dominated against Utah, showed enough for like they have the 68th out of 68th strength of schedule as far as Power 4 teams.
Well,
so yeah, there's a good chance they may go 12-0.
Let's see. Do they have West Virginia? Okay.
Probably.
There's a lot of talk there about that strength of schedule. You're taking a lot of shots at a lot of people there.
Yeah, that's just stats, I guess.
Yeah, and it's not Texas Tech that you're shooting at there. AJ, how do you feel about Tone Diggs saying, Ohio State Buckeyes? number 2 country in any country. Isn't it crazy that the conversation, like I'm just thinking about to us when we were at West Virginia. Preseason, whenever we get started, yeah, right. Okay, nobody's even in there. We cracked top 25. We were so pumped. Yeah, it was like a big celebration. Then obviously top 10 happens, top 5 happens, and that just becomes like the new standard. Like we got to be there. But people are saying they're ranked 9th. That's disgusting. It's like there's 135 teams in the country, okay? Ranking the top 10 before we play any is damn near impossible. And also, some of these teams might not even be top 50 teams in the country some weeks,
For sure.
which is what college football is kind of all about. It's hard. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking.
Too much turnover now. There's too much turnover in college football. Like, how do you these preseason rankings? I guess we should. Have we gone back over the last 5 or 10 years and compared the preseason poll to what it actually ended up at the end of the year?
And there's a lot of people who hate him and would like to do away with him, which is why D-Butt, who says that he stole the idea from somebody, so he introduced it to us, though. Do the bowl games at the beginning of the season.
Yep.
Okay, do the bowl games at the beginning of the season, have the big teams in there, then do the rankings off of the bowl games, and don't count those games towards, like, the schedule.
Yep.
Okay? So then you can get premier matchups. You can get premier matchups area, and we can say, hey, this is the bowl game. You still get the Duke's Mayo Bowl will still be 2 big names.
Yeah. Star players are actually play.
Boom, because it's going into the season. And then that is the preseason ranking, and then it goes into and it can't be held against you at the end of the season whenever you're being talked about for one of the 12 spots. How do you feel about that, AJ? You think that's a great idea?
If it can't be held against me, is it going to help me if I win those big-time bowl games?
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, it's preseason ranking, bro.
Celebrate the bowl.
But how does it not count against you if it's going to help you when you do win?
Well, preseason rankings matter because if you start up high, even if you're not high, you're going to be considered high until you prove them wrong. Like you can even, you know what I mean? So preseason rankings do matter, even though we can't really take them seriously. Because it feels like you're given a lot more forgiveness at the top of those things than if you're like 15 through 25 and you have a close game. They should have beat them by more. But if you're like a top 10 team, you have a close game, you're like, they're going to have to show up next week. That was a close one. They got through it, you know. So you do get a lot more forgiveness, I feel like, if you're ranked high at the beginning of the year. It happened for Clemson, like, probably 2 out of the last 3 years. Like, Clemson, this could be it. This could be it. And they're giving forgiveness, and it's like, inevitably, no, they're not. Will this year be different if LSU... they're ranked out of the top 25 for the first time. But, like...
I think they beat it.
They make a statement.
Ooh.
I think they beat LSU. I think Clemson's going to... I do not...
Jerry Rice, best football player of all time.
Do not tie this take to that
Excluding quarterbacks.
NFL, I'm an NFL guy.
Quarterback.
But college, I think Clemson's going to be good this year. I'm not a Clemson guy. I'm not a Dabo guy, but I have faith in Clemson.
11 transfers, I believe, that they're going to play.
Yeah.
I think he went to the transfer portal in a big way. I think they did spend money. First year not being ranked in, 20 years or something like that. His tenure. So he has a lot to pull from.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to get shit pumped.
By LSU?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lane Kiffin also has a lot to...
13. Oh, yeah.
They're going to get shit pumped.
Easy.
Hey, oh.
You're not doing that this year, are you?
No one ever knows, man. No one ever knows.
Are you going to call Dan Lannon and congratulate him?
Oh, sorry, it's down.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Actually, good call. That's a good call.
You're in Tone's AP.
Yeah, you're right.
We do take these.
We did that to Ryan Day yesterday.
Twice.
He's going to go who?
We congratulated Ryan Day on winning 2 national championships in the preseason rankings, where he was the number 1 team in the coaches poll and number 1 in the AP. We'll see if Coach Lane, they might be,
Yeah, more.
Hey, we're live. We're live. Okay, you're working. We're in staff meeting right now.
Yep.
We just want to. Hey, lads. Hey, team.
Hell yeah, boys.
Team, good to see you guys. Good to see you guys.
Got phones available in meetings, huh?
Okay, hey, Coach.
Nice meeting room.
Coach, very nice meeting room. Congratulations. I saw the new indoor facility is almost up. You showed me the blueprints of that. It's ridiculous. Congratulations all the way in Eugene. We just want to let you know, congratulations. Tone Diggs ranked you the number 1 team in the country. You can stop practicing.
Hell yeah.
Stop meeting. Yeah!
Rat poison.
No, you won.
Come on.
Don't even practice, boys. Leave the meeting.
Good job,
Nothing
Coach.
to do. I see you, dude. Thank you, dude. Goodbye. Oh, that was incredible. Their first reaction is just being like, shut up.
Rat poison.
No way do we want to hear that. Okay, that was incredible. I'm happy to hear that. They're all reacting the same way, all these people.
As they should.
All right, well, tell your team, though, at least that we say it. We'd like them to like us. We've been supporters since the very beginning.
National champions.
Flip it. Hey, why don't you flip it, though? Say, hey, let's prove them right. Like, let's prove these guys right. They think we're the best team in the country. Let's go prove them right.
Yeah, well,
that should be flip it.
I think 18 to 23-year-olds don't get, like, contender things like that, So, I think, like...
Nah, fuck that. We're the best team in the country.
Yeah, just show up and kind of prove. You got to have a lot of moxie to have that team.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have a lot of maturity to have a team that's like, yes, we are the best team. And now we're going to go work harder than everybody. That would be crazy to be able to have. But maybe this generation has that because they've been paid since they were little boys. They've been paid since they're like 13 years old, these kids. These kids have been dealing with a lot of money since they're like, 13, 14 we're learning.
Yeah.
Freshman years of high school.
Crazy.
They're getting all this cash. It's crazy. Maybe they are more mature. But I do like the fact that every coach we've talked to has just said, don't say only negative, please. And when you say terrible things about our team, I need you to clip it and send it to us so we can show it to our team. They're looking for that at all times. Let's pivot away from college to the NFL. A man who is an insider and an Emmy Award-winning pundit. He's also a host if you need him.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Fantastic.
Incredible host, ladies and gentlemen. Emmy Award winner, Peter Schrager.
Yeah,
How you doing, Schrags?
Rat poison, baby. Rat poison. I'm in on Oregon. I love that. That's good. That's good.
Hey, you shouldn't just be in on Oregon because of that. You saw their meeting room there. Beautiful. Their practice facility, outrageous. Obviously, everybody knows the Nike connection, everything like that. But Dan Lanning's got a lot. 5 stars galore. Their entire team basically comes back trying to win. I genuinely believe this, and this will be how we pivot to the NFL. With this modern NIL and this modern 7-on-7 and this modern flag football that has kind of captivated the youth of America, and then into college with the NIL, them staying longer. Like, there's a graphic we have about the 2023 NFL draft. All these guys just hit. New highest paid. Not as many busts, it feels like, at a lot of different positions. College football, the talent level has gotten very high because people have been able to stick around longer. I think they've been able to handle a lot more, and I think the evolution of ball is just kind of naturally taking place. But I do think it's making the NFL better. Do you agree with that, with the NIL kind of era making the NFL better, maybe quicker? Because we're seeing a lot of younger guys have impact, and we're seeing a lot of these younger guys break records whenever it comes to what they're getting paid from teams.
Let's take a look at it. C.J. Stroud played at multiple schools, got to his first year with Houston, had the best rookie season we've ever seen from a quarterback. Jaden Daniels played at multiple schools, got to his rookie year, had the best season we've ever seen from a rookie quarterback. Tyler Shuck played at multiple schools, gets to the Saints last year at the age of 26, and is an unbelievable rookie quarterback. I think that the Mendoza storyline is next, and we'll see. You're coming into the league right now, and you've been in multiple offenses, you've played in multiple schools, you've played for multiple coaches, and you've been through the business of it a little bit, where I think the quarterback position primarily, these guys, they have less of a rope and they've got less of a runway because teams are expecting, hey, you've been through it, you've seen a bunch of offenses, let's get you on the field and let's see if you can do ours. So I absolutely think they're more pro-ready at the highest level. If anything, what we lose is the chemistry and the union of, hey, we're bringing back all our starters for another year. Like, I was talking to my friend Tony, who's a Duke alum, and he is heartbroken over what's going on with Mensa, the quarterback who's now going to be at Miami, and he's taking the wide receiver with him. And I said, yeah, but you took him from Tulane. So what do you, this is just what it is right now. So you lose some of that. But what you get at the NFL is these guys are pro-ready as they've ever been. And I don't think there's much room for, hey, let's sit him for 2 years so he learns our offense. No, you've learned enough. Let's go. It's time.
Duke sued. I think Duke sued for Mensa to not be able to leave. He inevitably ends up winning that and then goes down to Miami. And by all reports, he was worth all of it, they're saying.
Thank you, Tony.
That is what everybody is saying. Yeah, tell Duke Tony that thank
Duke
you.
Tony is a diehard Duke fan, and as much glory that they have in basketball, he was so excited by Mensa last year and this ACC championship team. To lose the quarterback and wide receiver, you would think that, forget all the basketball stuff, we were on the cusp. But that's the beauty and the nature of NIL and the portal. You got to strike when the iron's hot. So for my Duke friend Tony and for all you Duke football fans, it might be a while.
Well, they also, Riley Leonard, they sent him over to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You know, Duke's been doing a good job creating very smart, great quarterbacks for other teams. Now, the fact that he stays in the ACC after being an ACC champion and goes to the other school that almost didn't get into the playoffs and then ends up at the national championship, I can see how that could be a little bit of a gut punch to Duke folks.
Sure.
I can see that. And they certainly fought that thing. But him going down to Miami, I think, is a massive piece of why everybody likes Miami. And I'm excited to watch him. And so I believe they're already talking about him being the best quarterback in the country. There's like 10 of those guys. Trinidad obviously has a chance. Arch has a chance. Dante Moore has a chance to be the guy. And let's not even get started with the guy that West Virginia has.
Yeah.
Please.
Saying.
Yeah. CJ, obviously, Carr has a chance to be the best.
Wait, who the
I'll
hell
tell
is
you
that?
on Carr, which is interesting because Pat, the list goes on. It's like 10.
We haven't named a starter yet. Thank you so much.
Both guys, though.
Three guys, maybe. All of them could be great.
Sure.
3, okay.
Well, we don't know what we made promises to which quarterback on who's going to play what. Okay, so I'm going to stay out of it. Please go, CJ. Just know West Virginia, Texas Tech has the easiest. Okay. Sorry. Go back to CJ Carr, who I'm a big fan of, and I cannot wait to watch with Notre Dame this year.
So I've got multiple people who are at the Manning Passing Academy, and all the top guys are always coming through there. And I always like to get a good litmus test of who was the guy. And apparently Carr blew everybody away at the Manning Passing Academy, not just on his play, but was like the Pied Piper, and everyone was following his lead. So I'm not a Notre Dame apologist. I'm not a Notre Dame. Like, I wasn't outraged when they didn't get in, all this stuff. But I will tell you, NFL teams have their eye on this guy, and he is probably not getting as much press as Arch Manning and Moore and some of the other quarterbacks. But CJ Carr might be the guy that we're talking about come January, February, March, April, NFL draft first overall. And that just shows the depth of this quarterback class.
You talk about the Manning Passing Academy. Pete Thamel just did a 20-minute thing on the history of it over the last 30 years or 20 years. I forget the amount of years. Something ridiculous. How many quarterbacks have ties to the Manning Passing Academy and how much, Peyton goes back and stays in a dorm room. Limited air conditioning. Okay, him and Eli and Cooper,
love it,
and the whole family staying in it. I got invited one time, 2 times. I got once whenever I was playing, and then once post time. And I looked into it, and I couldn't, with the schedule, I couldn't make it happen. I was going to be staying with 3 random people in this dorm. It was like you actually go back to college for like a weekend, and I think it's only like 120 degrees or something.
Yeah, that's it.
And
football weather.
The number of folks that go through there, go down there, the amount of knowledge, the amount of give back to the community, the amount of you name it. It's like it's a special thing. And I think anytime I've seen Archie, I've made sure I told him, like, hey, the Manning Passing Academy pretty sick because he's obviously a big piece of that. But it's the whole family kind of buying into it. Well, and I love it. I absolutely love what they do.
Pat, there was a guy, Buddy Tevens, who was the head coach at Stanford and then the head coach at Dartmouth for many years, but he was at Tulane. And this thing really came about probably 30 years ago with Buddy and Archie coming together. And Peyton Manning was like, I'd love to go to a camp where we all get the quarterback play. There's always camps, but there was never quarterback play. And Buddy, we lost Buddy last year in a tragic bicycle accident. So that tradition continues. And I think there's this like real connection if you're a Manning Passing Academy alum where you pay it forward and you come back as a college player and then you come forward and the guys who are the counselors are the college stars. But all the high school kids that come up, like their goal is to someday be a counselor. And then to see that you have all these generations of players, it's really a cool deal. And the fact it is where it is and it's 120 degrees and it takes place in July, it only makes it cooler where like we actually went through almost like a boot camp of sorts where we bonded together. So I think it's one of the coolest things we got going.
Yeah, and you say that CJ Carr was the Pied Piper down there. That I heard one thing. He has beers with the lads. That is literally what I heard you say, but I didn't hear you actually say that. So that made me say, okay, I like CJ Carr. Yeah. I like what he's doing. Can he cook? He is a fighting Irishman, so let's assume that he's going to have to.
That's high on your list.
Yes.
Like if you had a draft board, if you had a room, your beers with the boys, that's the category.
I've been very fortunate for the position in which I was in.
Mm-hmm.
Not physically demanding a lot. So I had a chance to go out with a lot of different groups.
Oh, yeah.
I had a chance to go out with a lot of different groups. In college, there was different nights for different groups of the team. NFL, same exact thing. Then I had a little dust up to kind of shut that down for about 27 months or so. But I was out with like every group. And what I realized was all the best players we're with the lads. Like that is like even the guys who are super duper locked in and like, let's say not drinkers or anything like that, they still would like to be with the lads. Like, so my big thing is like, if you're with the lads, from my experience, you are somebody who is has a chance to be elite. If you're away from the lads, I do not think you're going to be good. I think you're probably going to be bad for the team. That's just my
the guy who's known for it the most in the NFL, and not like in a drinking raucous way, but always how important it is to get together and go out after games. Baker Mayfield's known to be that guy, and that the offensive line, win or lose, we're going out afterwards. At a home game, we're going to our spot, we're going to get dinner. And like you could see him in town in Tampa, and before that, Cleveland, and of course when he was in his other spots. But like there is something to that, and the connectivity. And when you get away at a camp like the Manning Passing Academy, or a week like the Combine, where you're not going out at the Combine, but
no,
you start
hanging
to see
with
these
the
guys
lads, yeah, that's
amongst their peers, and you see who's the Pied Piper, who's the alpha, who's the guy. And Baker, I mentioned because at the Combine that year, it was Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, and to a man, everyone said Baker Mayfield was the Pied Piper. He was the guy that everyone followed. He was the guy that was like, all right, everybody in our group, the quarterback group, let's get together. That's the stuff you can't see on film. That's the stuff you get from anecdotes and you talk to people. So the Manning Passing Academy, a lot of the stuff for these guys who were there, yeah, you threw great, you did all this. Who was that dude? And across the board this year, that dude was C.J. Carr.
Baker Mayfield was that dude. He took Cleveland to the playoffs and beat the Steelers in the playoffs.
That's right.
And they told him, get the hell out of town.
Yeah, they did.
And now he's back in Tampa Bay. Are they going to pay him? We shall see. He's also throwing the ball this year, we think, to another guy that was hosting the lads, Garrett Green. We know that.
Right.
He's going to run loud.
Yeah.
Another guy who notably likes to hang out with the team and bring the team together, Von Miller, just signed with the Dallas Cowboys. Had 9 sacks with the Commanders last year. Nobody saw any of them, okay? None of us saw any of them because of what happened with the Washington Commanders last season. Jerry Jones says, there's still an opportunity. I trade for a big star. Don't you worry about that. You always think that Jerry might be working behind the scenes. How much of this do you think this was Jerry wanting to add depth? How much do you think this stops Jerry from going forward and adding more on the defensive front? Because we have a graphic about what the defense looks like post Micah Parsons. It's been a lot of change, a lot of turnover. Obviously, we had Von Miller, but Jerry teasing another big move. Is that real, or do you think Von filled that gap for him?
No, it's still real. I think they're looking to add as many pieces as they can if they come available. I will tell you this. I spoke to Von Miller at the Super Bowl this year, and he was doing media appearances, and I pulled him off to the side, and he said to me he had a choice last year between the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Commanders. And he did the math and did it all, and they had no connection to either team. And he said, gosh, Commanders went to the NFC Championship game last year. I'm going to go for a Super Bowl ring, one more of them. And he signed with the Commanders, and then you saw what happened with Seattle. I know that Vaughn had multiple choices this year in this offseason, and teams were inquiring. He chose Dallas. And if you're telling me he had regrets going to Washington over Seattle because he wasn't in contention for that ring, tells me he's looking to get one more. And if he's picking Dallas, yes, he's a DeSoto, Texas, native, and yes, that's close and it's in his backyard. But if he's picking Dallas, he's not picking Dallas for the money. He's not picking Dallas because they're on national TV a bunch. He's picking Dallas because he thinks he can win. And I look at this defense. Last year, they played the Rams in those intercamp practices. Everyone to a man told me that the Los Angeles Rams offense with Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback just ran through up and down, did whatever they wanted, threw the ball over that Cowboys defense. They did those same practices this year, and it was not a one-sided match. These two defenses and went together against those offenses, and it was straight up even. And the ones from L.A., struggled against the Dallas defense, and the ones from the Dallas offense struggled against the Rams defense. So to me, they're already just at this point, August 15th, light years ahead of where they were last year. And in that preseason game, Pat, I know that it was all the backups. Seattle went right down the field and scored a touchdown. From that point on, 49 yards passing they gave up. And despite a muffed punt and giving the Seahawks 4 different opportunities in the red zone, they didn't give up another touchdown the rest of the way. This defense is going to be the biggest X factor in the NFL this season. And I think Von Miller is another piece that we can plug in and saying, okay, they're not going to be bad. They're not going to be atrocious. At the very least, we know they're going to field an NFL defense, and that might be all they need to be competitive and be a contender in the NFC.
Jerry Jones said 1 player's good, 4 players better. Jeez, and he said we need to be able to stop the run. We need to play better defense. And last year was the worst they ever looked. They put the ass in last. But on that note, there's been a lot of stats that defenses can go from terrible to very good. That is something that can happen, especially with the new DC that everybody's talking about being absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see Shoddy down there with an offense that's seemingly going to be great, right? George Pickens playing on a franchise tag.
Yeah. He looks amazing.
He's playing on a franchise tag. That never happens, especially at a wide receiver position, especially with somebody like George Pickens. Feels like Shoddy's got the culture, right? Doesn't it feel like that as well? And they're wanting to run extra sprints after the practice against the Rams. It's like, are the Cowboys gearing up to have a year where we actually have to talk about them whenever it comes down to real football season, which is post-Thanksgiving? I think so. And I don't want to, out too many people, but Shoddy was with us.
Yep.
Shoddy made it. Shoddy made it all the way to the end whenever we were out there. Very casual, very comfortable. He wasn't alone. I think his family was with him with us. It was, 2, 3?
Yeah.
4, maybe?
Arizona time.
Talking ball with Shoddy. Shoddy is obsessed with it, and I think he's the perfect guy for the job right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think he is the perfect guy for the
job.
job.
I'm high on Shoddy, and obviously we've known Shoddy for a long, long time. So I'm high on him. I mean, every year coming into the season, you look at the Cowboys roster, and they have the pieces. Now, defensively, there's been question marks, and they were historically bad last year. But you don't even need to go, in my opinion, terrible to great. They just need to be middle of the pack or above average. And with that offense, the weapons, another year of locked-in George Pickens, we assume, playing for some real long-term money. I'm excited about Dak and that offense.
Me too, man. Hey, let's go Cowboys.
Here we go, boys.
Let's go.
I'm about them Cowboys.
I was going to say, this Christian Parker, I got to know him a little bit the last couple of years, and then I had him on the Schrager Hour podcast I do. I had him as a guest a couple of weeks ago, and what's interesting with him is that his lineage is a rocket ship. He's only 34 years old, so you're like, all right. But he's coached for Fangio. He's coached for Sean Payton. He has coached with Mike Pettin and Matt LaFleur. He has been in the room with Aaron Rodgers. Like, in a short period, when you go from Sirianni, Fangio, and then before that, obviously Sean Payton for a year, and then before that, Vic Fangio was the head coach in Denver, and then the Green Bay. Like, he's been around a lot of winning football, and now he finally gets to put his spin on it. I think this guy is wiser than his years, and very rarely do you see a 34-year-old defensive coordinator. Sometimes you get the young hotshot offensive coordinator. But I think he's up to the task. He might be the biggest difference maker in the whole room because, hey, I've won Super Bowls with Philadelphia. And, hey, by the way, I was with the Packers when we went to back-to-back NFC championship games. This guy's the real deal, and I think he's got the experience that's going to bleed into it despite his age.
We got the next guy. I don't know if you've heard. He's the absolute best. We'll be selling shirts for him, actually, week 10 down there at Jerry World that will have blinds. I did see the World Cup. It feels like the sun in everybody's eyes was not necessarily a good time. I think whenever we were able to block it, we loved it. Caleb Downs is about to be an absolute game wrecker. Cannot wait to watch that.
Going from Cooper DeJean to Caleb Downs in that slot.
Think about the Dallas Cowboys are going to be on national television every weekend, whether we like it or not.
Yep.
Okay, whether we like it or not. How much better would it be if they weren't ass?
Oh,
so
much better.
So much.
There's a chance this year. This is the year.
Yep.
I'm excited to see if it actually is the case. Or is it another one since 1990 what? The last time they made it to the NFC Championship?
96.
Yeah.
January 96.
I wonder if Jerry got that 3-mile rig down to that honey hole down there
I hope so.
with the natural gas that he was looking to get.
Probably.
Right beneath our boots right here. There's
Everybody's been quiet.
trillions of dollars sitting there. I just got to get to it. Now, on that note, Von Miller's coming in, and I'm not done. I'll see you guys next week. He's the best, dude.
Hell yeah.
So good for the NFL. They're about to go international. Ty's got a question for that, but before then, go ahead, Con, man.
Yeah, sure. It feels like the Dallas Cowboys would be one of those teams that we looked into it. The last 36 seasons, there's been at least 4 new playoff teams from the year before. The Cowboys would be one of those. The Chiefs, of course. Here are all the teams: Ravens, Bengals, Colts, Bucks, Lions. There seem to be a lot of teams that we could see in the playoffs. That
Cardinals.
Last year.
Yep. Yeah.
Cardinals,
Jets.
Probably take those 2 off. But aside from that, there does seem to be a lot of teams that could potentially go on a run here. Titans, of course, spent the most money in free agency. I believe that's led to 3+ wins for teams over the last few years as well. Who do you like that missed the playoffs last year to go on a run, possibly win the whole thing, or at least get back to the dance next year?
Well, I think Detroit was the perennial favorite, last year going into the season. Things didn't go their way. They made significant upgrades across their roster where they thought they had to, but then they had some setbacks, obviously with injuries, with the center, Cade Mays, obviously with the Terry and Arnold situation, not ideal. Yet, I would have to think after an entire offseason of rebuilding this offense and the Drew Petzing offense and having all these talented players paid, whether it be Jared Goff, whether it be Amon-Ra St. Brown, whether it be Jahmyr Gibbs. And Foxy, I hope you like me again, because last year I said I could see them missing the playoffs. I could see the Lions saying, you know what, everyone, our window's not closed just yet. The Detroit Lions making a big push. And then those other two teams that are right there in the first column, I think Cowboys and Giants both are going to be significantly better. So those are the three teams in the NFC. And then the AFC, I'm never dismissing, the quarterback in Kansas City. I'm never dismissing the quarterback in Baltimore, and I'm never dismissing the quarterback in Cincinnati. Those are the three teams there. Indianapolis is a wild card, guys. I know you're in their backyard. I love the Keenan Allen sighting, just like you did. But they were 7-2, and they were in first place, the 1 seed, and they had an MVP at quarterback in Daniel Jones. And then things went off the rails, as we know, because of injuries. I feel like there's unfinished business there. But gosh, Houston and Jacksonville are really good in that division. So those are my teams I'm looking at. I'm not dismissing the rest. I just think if you're looking at them, Cowboys, Giants, Lions, Ravens, Chiefs, Bengals with a Colts asterisk right there.
Okay, I like that we're putting the Colts in the conversation. That's a lot better than everybody else. To that point about Jacksonville Jaguars, really good football team.
Yeah.
There's a chance they take a huge step, especially with Liam Cohen letting the boys know that ain't nobody talking about us. Everybody thinks we're ass. And then down in Houston, they might have the best defense in the world with D'Amico Ryans leading that. So it's going to be a hard out against anybody at any time. And they almost make it to the AFC Championship last year.
Yep.
And C.J. Stroud didn't have his best games down the stretch. So we assume they're only going to get better. I like that you're back on the Lions' good side. You brought up the Giants there. Obviously, you're a fan of team as well. A lot of storylines brewing over there. Go ahead, AJ.
Yeah, Shregs, I know you're very close to the New York Football Giants. What's going on with OBJ, Odell Beckham Jr.? Is he going to make this squad? And if he does, I guess, what kind of role is he going to have?
Dude, what an awesome story. I think this is for everyone who thinks that their book might be closed, but they feel like they have one last gasp. I was there at practice last week. He's running with the third string at one point. He's in the fourth quarter of a preseason game, running routes, as fast as he can. Guys, he's doing everything you possibly could ask for a veteran who is trying to make the team, and it's selfless. It's with no ego, and I think it's maybe my favorite story of all of training camp across the NFL, OBJ, whether he's going to make this, because it's not going to be given to him. They have a lot of guys trying out for those last spots in the wide receivers room, and it's not an insult at OBJ, but that's where he's at right now, where it's going to be, can he make the 53? Has done everything that's been asked, has been working his ass off, but he is a year plus removed from being in the NFL. But I think there's a cool storybook finish to this. And we were all together in March in Arizona when, it was known that Joe Shane was taking a meeting with OBJ, and OBJ made the initiative to go to that hotel and to go and take that meeting. And I will tell you, the Mara family absolutely loves Odell Beckham. And I think one of the great regrets in this market is that it ended the way it did. He was shipped off to Cleveland, and yes, they got stuff in return. But that shouldn't have been the end of the Odell Beckham Giants story. I think there is a lot of positivity around this. But to his credit, he has not said a peep about playing with guys that probably don't belong on the same field with him if you're going historically, and playing fourth quarters of preseason games and going out with guys that, maybe a guy with a bigger ego or someone who said, hey, do you realize that I was in the NFL 100 commercial? I don't need to be playing with a fourth string quarterback. This guy has not said a peep, and in West Virginia was apparently awesome for the younger wide receivers, Malachi Fields included. So the long answer to that, AJ, is that everyone is rooting for this, but he's going to have to make the team, and that is not a sure bet right now.
As we showed there, Art Stapleton of NorthJersey.com reported yesterday that OBJ was working with Jackson Dart a little bit more in practice. This is the most amount of reps he's had with the ones. Okay. He also worked an extra scramble, plaster for a 40-yard gain. We did see him shake some third-string corner this past weekend in an isolated shot. He seemingly still has it. To your point, though, Odell Beckham Jr. is a global superstar. So the fact that he's blocking in third, fourth quarters of preseason games, I think showcases his will and want to get back on the team. And Mara watched Saquon Barkley leave, too. I think they're about, done with it all. Saying, let's go ahead and make some rights here. Okay, let's go ahead and try to do this. Hopefully OBJ is a playmaker because I love watching him play the football. Who was he with last year? Miami?
Miami.
He was in Miami, right?
Last squad?
Played
Cup
against,
of coffee,
Yeah, for a little bit.
Played against the Colts with Miami, right?
Yep.
He was just running track practice. I mean, they just had him doing track. He was on Lucas Oil Stadium.
And cardio.
And just had him, literally, he was just running goes, and then the ball would go who knows where. I mean, it was the Dolphins last year. Everybody got fired for a reason. You know, you did say they were going to be the shocker of the AFC.
I thought they would.
Yeah, they weren't. The thing that was shocking the most to me was OBJ ran maybe, I don't know, 2 miles on Lucas Oil Stadium, and he was nowhere near getting the ball. I mean, it was go route, crossing route, go route, and he was just jogging right back into it, and then right back, just running laps basically around Lucas Oil Stadium live in real time. And I just thought to myself, he looks good. Looks like he's kind of gliding. He looks great in preseason. If he can be a weapon for them over there, good for Jackson Dart. What's going on with him in the blue tent? I'm about sick of seeing him go in there. Is everything okay? Is this guy healthy? Does he get up slow? Because I'm being told about Alec Pierce that he walks weird.
Sure.
So whenever you look at his limp or his gait, it's not necessarily he's still struggling with his surgery. He just is a weird walker.
Okay.
The guy's a bad walker.
Know plenty of those guys.
Jackson Dart might
CJ
just
Stroud.
Exactly. Bad
Terrible
walker.
walker.
Terrible walker. And runner. Bad walker and runner. But when Jackson Dart's down on the ground chilling, 3, 4, 5 seconds or whatever, is he getting his play calling, getting his stretching, and nobody kind of understands it? It's just kind of his thing? Or what, is this too big of a story that shouldn't be? Jackson Dart?
Well, it's August. It's August, and I think he came out himself and said, if I'm being honest, I know the NFL's into safety, but I feel like I'm going to paraphrase, I'm almost being targeted that now it's, if I go down, I'm immediately going in the tent, and that shouldn't be the case. That said, if you watched his highlight, Tracy, of course, misses the block. He's down there he looks like he's hurt. So, I don't blame the refs for saying, all right, let's get him in the tent and check him out. So it can go either way. Everyone's very sensitive about Jackson Dart, and including Jackson Dart. He doesn't want to be seen as this guy that's always in the blue tent. He also doesn't want to be described as reckless. So as he's working on this stuff for his first preseason game to end up in the tent, it's almost like it's comical after this was the dialogue the entire season last year. We were told it wasn't going to be the case. That said, Giants have been working with him. I don't think this is, something he intends. I'll never forget, though, after this play here, he came out in the press conference. Everyone thought he was going to be apologetic. He was like, I'm not a soccer player. I'm a football player. And I'm like, all right, I kind of like the bite that he's got. Yeah. So it's how do you rein in the recklessness of I'm going to be getting injured and we're going to, to then being like, hey, be yourself. We need that. We want that spirit. We want that fight. Ending up in the blue tent is the last place you want to be. And Jackson Dart knows that. So there's got to be some sort of, hey, do I want to lie on the ground for 10 seconds after getting hit in a preseason game? No, but they have to also check you out if you're going to be doing that. So I don't know what's going to happen here, but it's a dialogue. It's a point of contention now in August 18th, but we'll see if we're talking about it in September.
We would like to let Jackson Dart know that we all think he's tough.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you did it.
I'm not sure anymore because if he's going to say he's not hurt and then he's going to lay on the ground for 10 seconds, then I'm going to remove my I think you're tough card until later.
Maybe when he said I'm not a soccer player, he stole from soccer a little bit, thought if he laid down, yellow or red card would come.
Yeah.
And maybe he thought that was going to happen because it was on MetLife Stadium or whatever it is. So there's a chance that he got a little confused at what was going on because I assume he was at the World Cup final there. But we would just like to let him know, Jackson, you're tough, man. You did it. Check the box.
Hell yeah.
For the rest of your life, we're going to say, hey, Jackson Dart.
One tough son of a bitch.
Doesn't have to prove it anymore. That's really cool of him because he's super handsome. He's got the blonde hair. Yep. Everybody's naturally going to think this guy's soft as shit.
USC, Ole Miss. People think he's a pretty boy. He's not, though.
No.
He's not.
He's tough. This guy's tough as nails.
The bad boy.
We appreciate it. He's running people over. He is. Let's remember that forever. When Jackson Dart's name, we should actually start calling him super tough Jackson Dart. And then we'd like to follow up with that. You already proved it now. Let's not.
Stay on the field.
Let's not, let's stop. Let's not. Patrick Mahomes last year all of a sudden said, I want to prove to everybody I'm tough. I'm going to start running people over again. And then he got hurt. I'm not saying he got hurt because he was running people over, but I didn't like him just saying I needed to become a tough guy now all of a sudden. You proved it, Patrick. Tough guy, Patrick Mahomes. I appreciate you doing it. Stop taking hits. Stop giving hits, okay? These are fucking adults out here running 4.3 at 275 pounds now.
Joe Burrow.
This is a real, Joe Burrow I need to get a hit to get woken up. It's like, tough guy. We appreciate you. Good. We do. We appreciate you. Let's not do that anymore because an entire city is kind of relying upon you being there. And We appreciate how tough you guys are.
Yeah, we have the data. It's not going to work. We've all seen Cam Newton in person. Yeah. He's one of the most impressive physical specimens that you've seen on the football field. And his body broke down because of the hits that he took repeatedly. Like, I don't care how you're built. It's a difference. It's the big boy league. Get out of bounds. We need you.
And on that note, Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
Hey, we love how explosive you are and how hard you run. But if you can go one-on-one with a guy, let's take that instead of 1-on-5 every single time. Because guess what? The next run, you're going to be able to pick up that yard that you might have just left behind right there. It's going to come. This guy driving his legs and running the way he was running in a preseason game was awesome. It was spectacular. I love the effort. I love the possibility. I love what this season could be for him. But it's hard not to just immediately think, as somebody who's watched a lot of NFL football throughout my life, I don't know if that guy's going to survive. And then it comes out, he's got a sprained ankle. He's actually out for 4 weeks. Yeah. It's like, well, at least it's that. Okay, at least it's like, and not like some punctured lung or, nerve damage from whatever is about to happen. He's going to be taking huge shots. We need to know that. Running back does take hits, but we're just trying to tell these guys, you're tough. Yeah. We know you're tough. We appreciate you being tough. Let's stay on the field because we need you. Okay, especially in daily sports talk. We need you all to be healthy.
I kind of liked him doing it.
I know.
To be honest with you,
I
just
so
like LaFleur just giving him 40.
I was going to say, giving him 18 touches right out the jump. That was a little egregious.
Well, remember, he's only a rookie.
Yeah, but think about LaFleur watching him run. This guy's awesome.
Yeah, give it to him again. Give it to him again. Give it to him again.
Yeah, it was fun. There was a lot of talk about LaFleur giving him the rock as much as he did. And I think it's because we all saw the shots and the hits at the end. We saw like every single one of them. And I think a lot of Cardinals fans are like, do we need to have our guy out there for that many runs? And then LaFleur, new head coach, obviously. So people are going to question. He's setting precedent with everything. He's a rookie. He needed the snaps. I know you're probably tight with this particular LaFleur.
I was surprised he did because McVay never plays the guys, and Mike comes from there, and Saleh never played the guys when he was with the Jets. And, here's Jeremiah Love in a game against the Raiders in the preseason. But, gosh, some of these runs were so amazing that it got the fan base excited. You hate to see he got injured, but if it didn't happen in the preseason, it might happen in another game. So let's get him healthy, and let's see if he's ready for week 1 because I need this guy on the field. He's such an electric talent.
Oh, yeah, we need him. Yeah, we need him on the field. Jeremiah, we love you, bub.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
J Love and LaFleur. J Love and LaFleur. Those are going to be some tough stats.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
Every single day, that's going to be coming at us really
Sounds
fast.
like a segment.
Yeah. So, I can't wait to see what you guys do with that, obviously, with your big TV brains. Speaking of big brains, Roger Goodell says the best way to grow this game is internationally. He said a lot of things to Marcus Kuhn. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, Shriggs, we know when you were on Good Morning Football, you guys went overseas for a lot of those games. You're a bit of an international man of mystery yourself. How would this work out, you think? How close do you think we are to potentially having teams in Europe? And ultimately, we were talking about it earlier. Hey, if they get the Concorde, up and running and you can fly from New York to London in 2.5 hours, we might have something here. But how would this work? Do you think we are ultimately going to see this? And are you in favor of, maybe 4 teams in England?
Well, that's the question. So in 2007, when they first did the Dolphins-Giants, and that game was Eli Manning versus Cleo Lemon, and I remember I covered that game, and it was like 2007, we're going to London, first time. I think Goodell said 15 years from now, we'd love to see a team, in London. And that 15 years has passed, and we don't have a team. I think logistics is what's holding it up more than anything. It's not fan interest. It's not stadiums. It's not the time zone stuff, because if I'm being honest, we now have 7 games in the morning anyway on these Sundays, as opposed to what we used to have, just like 1. And I think fans are becoming accustomed to that on the East Coast and even on the West Coast. But the logistics of making it all work is what it is. So the question is, guys, to your point, is it one team that's there and they play 8 games in London and then they play 8 games, in the States, and we figure it all out? Or is it a whole division of 4? So there is a bigger brain trust than you can imagine trying to work out all the permutations and making it happen. But here we are in 2026. We're all these years later, and we still are trying to figure out the logistics to make it work. And I think the Players Union is going to have a big say in this. And I also think as you start working it out, the networks are going to have a big say in this, because every time you put another game on in the morning, and I know this is like the 30th thing and the players don't care about this, but the media side of it, those NFL pregame shows on Fox, on ESPN, on CBS, those are big sponsors. You're losing a little bit of that audience every single time you're saying, well, it's going to be the pregame show versus an actual NFL game that's going to be on in this window instead. So there's all sorts of conversations that have to be had, media, business, but also logistics. How are we going to make this work so that these teams can actually compete and there won't be a competitive advantage for someone else?
Yeah. The 9:30 game will always win over a studio show. Studio shows know that. But to Schrager's point, a lot of networks have invested a lot of money so that their NFL partnership will work well. I think that is what he is referring to there. So who gets those 9:30 games that they're just definitely, for lack of a better word, cucking out of a complete audience? That's
a word.
It was the right word.
Yeah, no.
I use it in proper context, I do believe. So I think it
loves it.
I think it was. I think it was improper. I mean, somebody who's much smarter than I will have to figure that whole thing out. We have some breaking news out of the NFL and Los Angeles Chargers camp. Freshly signed center for the Los Angeles Chargers, formerly of the Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys, former Remington Award winner out of Wisconsin, Tyler Biadasz, is now parted off a joint practice today with the 49ers. Is it happening already with Herbert where they're not going to be able to keep an offensive line together? We assume that this is not that big of a deal we're hoping for, but anytime you're carted off of a practice this early, there's a situation that kind of comes about that you can be knowing immediately upon it. Shregs, this just broke, so I don't know how much you know about this, but this...
I don't know anything. It's brutal. It's brutal. This is a
for
team
the
that was
Chargers.
stung last year. Yeah, Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater were the two top 10 picks that we were saying we're rolling them out. And last year, they made the playoffs without those guys. The thought was the strength of this team this year is inside out. Their offensive line is absolutely beastly and healthy. This is terrible, and carted off is awful. So I don't know all the details. I'll get on it after this.
Thank you.
This was a big signing.
Big sign. Okay, before we get out of here, we need your brain. Man, that sucks for the Chargers.
Oh, yeah. Snake bit.
Yeah, that sucks. Even if he misses just some time, like McDaniel's offense with Herbert with the center, I mean, that's a lot. Man. Here's a little bit more info. Medical card is out for Charger center Tyler Biadasz, who went down after 49ers defensive tackle Sebastian Valdez fell on his left knee during 11-on-11.
Yeah.
Reports Chris Rhymes. I don't like that at all. Hopefully his leg wasn't leg locked at that time, because that's where the hyperextension can happen. I don't know how offensive linemen don't get hurt more.
Literally.
I actually asked AQ about this because the Arizona Cardinals guard ended up getting hurt, I believe.
Chase Besantis.
Yeah, he ended up getting hurt because a tackle got tossed off and then landed on his leg. It's like that's happening at all times, let alone running back or fullback coming from behind you as well as you're trying to drive. I don't know how they don't get chopped up every single play.
Legit.
And then AQ told me that like a trait that you have to have is like a sense, and we talked.
You gotta go limp. You gotta be able to go limp if you feel pressure, like someone behind you. Yeah.
And knowing when people are there, I guess having that sense of feeling to do that, it's almost like, basketball. I watch these NBA guys. They're taking these jumpers, and they're like really high in the air. 3 guys around them. It's 6 feet, okay? Somehow they don't land on everybody's foot. I go to LA Fitness right now. I go into that paint. I jump up to shoot. I'm breaking my ankle on the guy's foot right below.
Goofballs out there.
Well, yeah, but I think it is also a sense, too, of like where I think that is a trait that is either developed or you have to have.
I could be wrong. I think it was Lomas Brown maybe when he was with the Lions, and Foxy maybe back me up here, but like played 20 straight years, never missed a snap. Jackie Slater, 20 years from the offensive line position. It's amazing how these guys have the innate ability to do that.
It's just like at any given moment, at your big ass size, okay, there's huge humans could just. That's why they were all forced to wear those Dahn joys there for a while. You remember that? They were forcing all these offensive linemen to wear it, and like the athletic one that used to play a different position and then got forced into offensive line. Hey, I can't move. I can't. This takes away all my. Do you remember those days, AJ? They were forcing these big guys into Dahn joys. They were so pissed about it. From my record,
still happens in college. All my college buddies that are O-linemen, they made him wear double knee braces every single practice. Even
it's like, is that going to help if a guy doesn't have the sense of awareness to not get rolled up on? And also, is it inevitable for some of these people?
Yeah,
that it's just going to happen. Those ones behind.
Worse.
Nasty.
When they're blocking downfield and then all of a sudden somebody runs right up their back and then it's like, is your knee, your ankle, your hip, is your face? What? Is everything hurt right now? And then they just miserably get up fuck my life. Right back into offensive line position. It's a respect that I have for a position that I don't know if I could really put into proper phrasing, because they want no credit. They get their asses beat. They're sore all the time. Some of them have to put on weight to be bigger, like force eating themselves to do this entire thing. Hey, offensive lineman, we appreciate you.
Yeah, love you, guys.
We appreciate you, offensive lineman, genuinely. And I don't know how any of you survive. I don't know how any of you get through it all. Go ahead, Tom.
They did, if there is a bright spot, which we hope he's okay, they did draft a center in the second round, Jake Slaughter, out of Florida, who everyone liked a lot. And we should say this was not at the substation. They are in L.A. today.
Okay. I mean, getting rolled up at the substation. You got
yeah.
I mean, that's
out for the year.
That's unbelievable. All right, Shregs, we appreciate the hell out of you. Last question before we let you go. Go ahead, D-Bud.
Yeah, Shregs, you are the I think the perfect guy for this. I want to get your gears grinded right now. I want to put you on the spot. We had a conversation earlier. I said Jerry Rice, greatest football player of all time, quarterbacks aside, even with him. But I don't want to put you on. Well, I am putting you on the spot. Who is your Mount?
You said even with them.
No, with all players. With all players, quarterbacks included.
Whoa.
Mount Rushmore, NFL greats.
Okay, offhand, here we go. Tom Brady is in one of those. Okay.
Of course.
Jim Brown is in another. Lawrence Taylor is another. And Jerry Rice is my fourth.
Okay.
Good list.
I tell you what, you put those four up against any other four, I think they're probably winning that.
Yep.
On that note, D-Butt just made a little bit of a change to what he said earlier. He just said Jerry Rice, best football player, quarterbacks included as well, I think is what you said.
This is how I feel.
I'll tell you, the NFL a couple of years ago, Pat, before this whole NFL 100 thing, they ranked him probably at the 75 year or whatever, and Jerry Rice was voted the number one player of all time. This is probably like 15, 20 years ago, so it's not crazy to say Jerry Rice.
15, 20 years ago? Yeah,
I saw
before Brady? Yeah.
CBS did it last year, and they had Tom 1 and Jerry 2.
Fair.
I love the D-Butt. As you were saying that, D-Butt was just like I fucking said.
They were looking at me like I had three heads earlier. AJ wasn't here yet.
Crazy?
It was crazy.
Hey, Jerry White?
You're not crazy.
Jerry Rice, hell of a football player, man. Hell of a football player. Give me Randy. And then give me Tom. Okay? I'll put Tom up there. I'm putting Aaron Donald up there. Okay. Just strictly because I hope he hears this.
Sure.
And I hope he makes him come back sooner so we can do that. But I also feel that way. And then the fourth. Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah, Jerry got
Ed Reed's
Barry
got to be in
Sanders.
the
Ed Reed,
conversation.
Ray?
Yeah.
Barry was
Prime.
10 years.
Calvin?
Pro.
Lawrence Taylor did change the game.
Gronk? I mean, you could even put Gronk in there, even though he only played, 10 years or 9 years or whatever it was.
Yeah, which was one of the stipulations he had, which I would agree with. Yeah,
long term. Need to play a long
You'll find,
at least.
Go ahead.
You'll find a fan of a different generation who will make the case for, a Don Hudson or an Otto Graham, or you go down the list of the guys from the 70s, all those Steelers teams, all those defensive players, Mean Joe Green at defensive tackle. I mean, you can go a bunch of different ways here. Merlin Olsen was like an 18-time All-Pro or something. So like
George
you can go through the history books.
George played till he's 50, 49 or 50 years old.
Yeah,
you got to respect that. All right, Shregs, we know what D-Butt's saying. Now we know what you're saying. We'll have to put ours together. We appreciate you, Shregs. Have an incredible...
Merlin Olsen talk, only here.
We have depth. You're the best. Peter Schrager, man.
Awesome.
What about O-line? Jonathan Ogden.
Larry Allen.
Bingo.
God, A.Q. Shipley.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's right there.
He's going to be so pissed his name was mentioned there. Oh, thanks. Now everybody that didn't hear this entire conversation is just going to kill me the entire time. Love that. That's kind of the Hall of Fame fringe thing. Mm-hmm. Like if you're on the fringe, getting into Hall of Fame, all people do is kill you instead of celebrate you. We like to celebrate people.
Yep. Yeah.
We'll continue to do that on the other side. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice, might change your life. Okay, I feel like I got it in there. Let's take a break because I'm about to piss my pants. And then we got to hit all the big news stories. Yesterday was just like scandal article after scandal article after scandal article on my algo. What the hell's going on in the horse business?
Yeah. Good question.
What the hell's going on in baseball? What the hell's going on in basketball? What the hell's going on in basketball? Like two of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of big, what day is it? Monday, Tuesday? These are supposed to happen on Friday, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of rolling through all those. AJ, did you see I don't know how live your algo was yesterday. There was a lot of shit that was like very important happening and seemingly very serious in all these different sports. Like what? The Clippers story.
Yeah, sounds like it's just bullshit.
Yeah, what?
Oh.
But then also it sounds like
Wait
nobody
a minute.
knows
Yeah,
anything.
no, it's not.
No, nobody knows anything. We'll let you know whenever we find out.
You're not even talking about the biggest one.
Which one?
Solo fucking turn on the tribal chief.
I saw that last night. He gave away.
You're unbelievable.
He did. That's how it ended last
Right,
night.
Connor?
I was watching it live.
Who?
Solo, come on, the bloodline. Wake up!
Jacob Fatu watched Roman and Jay and Jimmy get their asses beat by Solo and LA Knight last night as Jacob Fatu stood in the corner and watched just like this.
He hit him with the thing.
That shit sucks. So that one's easier to miss. But I mean, we talked about the W yesterday.
Sky
So.
still.
How about the pews? Pew, 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 pew.
He's got a little rock in him.
Ooh, Huckle Fatu?
Stop it.
Relax.
Stop it.
Oh, okay.
Relax.
Big time relax.
Yeah, Bones got a little bit of the rock in him too.
Thank you.
It's just poop in his pants. Disgusting what they're doing.
That was uncalled for, all right?
Some respect for the final boss, dude.
Watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. This is where it was. Look, Jimmy and Jay setting up LA Knight for Solo.
Oh!
No!
Whoa. What?
Yeah. And then he goes into the pocket here. Wait till he goes into the pocket as Jimmy and Jay, who are currently rolling with Roman Reigns, and so is Jacob Fatu. You know, everybody's shocked. Holy shit, what just happened? Solo just gave him, and he goes into the pocket here. Come on, get in the pocket, please. Obviously, everybody's mind blown. Everybody's mind blown. Everybody's still mind blown. Okay, it feels like we've been mind blown enough. Okay, goes into his pocket. Pew pews. Jey Uso.
A gun?
Jey Uso comes running at him. Oh, throws him out of the ring.
Out of here.
Jimmy comes in. Solo, big back elbow. Throws him out of the ring. Jacob Fatu exits gracefully.
Stood there.
Can't believe I missed it.
Me either.
I caught that live. I caught that live last night. I went over to Netflix. I was watching Tires.
Sure.
I get out of Tires. It says Raw's live right now. I'm like, let's see what the fuck's going on. Jimmy and Jay are walking Solo out to the ring to Roman Reigns. Right, literally at this example, pew pew, pew pew. Oh, get on out of here! Sit back elbow, bang, boom. Oh no, I didn't even. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. Crazy night last night, dude.
Ooh.
That was earlier in the evening. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeet. Go.
Ooh.
Yeah, Solo's kind of a problem right now.
Yeah, I'll say.
Yeah, they're gonna have to.
Crazy in hell.
Yes, he's out of control a little bit.
Not the rock.
Everybody's mind blown. Everybody's mind blown.
Everybody's mind blown. They worked for a long time. They were mind
Great
blown.
way to describe it.
Just know that I think Roman's gonna be pissed that everybody else just kind of sat there after he got attacked and just watched Solo hang out. I think they need to tighten. Here's them walking Solo out to the OTC.
Oh no.
Yeah, because he was supposed to fully commit to the bloodline. You know, because Solo's been around a while a little bit. So he was supposed to fully commit to the bloodline. Jimmy and Jay escorting him out to Roman Reigns, our tribal chief. And Roman thought, everybody there thought it was some sort of game.
Running hot with the Usos.
He wanted Solo to acknowledge him. And instead, Solo fucking right to the larynx.
Yep.
Man. Dang, Simone Spike.
Sick love.
What's going to happen next?
Honestly,
Tune in.
I'll let you know.
No one fucking knows.
no one ever knows. All right. We'll be back on the other side. We've got a lot to talk about, including more from last night's Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
Just the beginning.
Did you see the beginning? What happened at the beginning of Raw last night? Because I only caught the tail end there.
I mean, it was so much. You had Braun Breaker and Oba. Once Breaker was on, hey, who's the future? Boom. Then Big Oba came out. I mean, you
Who's
had
he going
Ray
against?
Phoenix.
Who?
You had baby Kurt Angle. What's his name?
Yeah, Chad Gable.
Chad Gable. He got him in the ankle. I mean, it was.
Have some respect
it was
for
just
the
bangers,
legends,
banger after
dude.
banger.
We're just slandering legends' names.
Whoa. I mean, that is the ultimate respect. Kurt Angle was.
Yeah,
I mean, that was one of the greatest of
Well,
all
what you
time.
said about The Rock too. I mean, we need to think
No,
about
that
the
was
legends.
Just thinking about in the angles in which you need to think about it. Oba Femi did a Braun Breaker impression last night.
Pretty good.
He actually nailed it. Yeah. He actually nailed it.
Star.
Who's the future, Paul? Oba drops out of his accent straight into that. It was
Breaker didn't like the fact that Paul shook Oba's hand either.
Uh-oh.
It's a lot going on, right? It's a lot brewing right now. Everybody's lurking.
And I don't know if you guys saw what Grayson Waller did to CM Punk down at that NXT event.
I missed it.
Oh,
that was. I thought that might be old. That was new.
Very new, yeah.
Was that for shoot?
What's he doing down there?
Oh yeah, backstage.
For shoot. That's what it looked like to me. Did it look like a shoot?
It looked like it was for shoot to me.
You might work yourself into a shoot too. Every once in a while.
Yeah.
You never know, brother.
Well said.
We kind of got into one of those.
A little bit.
There, Dormania. That was a fun time.
Yeah.
Block got real hot there for a bit.
Yeah.
How many days was that in total? It felt like an eternity. I think it was only like 17 days.
When you were running hot with Randy?
Yeah.
That was.
We were running wild there.
Yeah.
That was loud. Holy fuck. How many days does it take to get a whole stadium to flip you off? I can tell you. I did the research. Takes about maybe a day and a half.
Yeah.
Is what it takes. That was a good time. That was a lot of fun.
Glad you recovered too.
Yeah.
In time for the football season.
Right.
I was worried about.
Well, for draft, remember draft was
Oh,
4 days later.
Yeah.
Draft was 4 days later. Thank God. I mean, Jelly Belly came after me. Cody Rhodes hit me with a crossroads.
Yeah.
A lot of neck wear and tear, and then let alone RKO already.
In the brace.
The doctor already told me you need this to stabilize your neck, and then Randy attacks my neck.
Who could have seen
Halo next? Halo, where I got to drill holes in your head.
Yeah, one of those big ones. I thought that was my future. I thought that was my future at the time because I got rolled out of the ring too, and you don't remember how high that ring is until you're falling out of it right onto the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was falling, I was like, oh no, that might have really done it there. That one might have got me. And I moved my fingertips and then my toes. And I said, okay, that seems like I'm okay. And then Randy punted Cody right directly in the fucking head.
Yep.
But I
Almost had to get rid of it.
It was unreal.
It was unreal.
Great episode. Yeah, it was. Nice, it might change her life. Take 5.
5.
AJ always like to say the good old days we're living them, this breathless stress, God bless. We killing them, perspectives a necessity. These days especially, so if you wait, you should take some time to live a pleasantry.
12 teams counting down to 1. We're trying to find a national champion, and it starts right here in Norman with the Boomer!
Hey, look at that fucking belt buckle. That's old school. Who's that? Who's that? Like, that's George Strait.
Don't you fucking forget it. Boomer! Boomer! Oklahoma's the last team standing! I hear you wild fucking maniacs going crazy.
You deserve what you earn in this life. You'll get burned, the world turns, you'll be fine. Don't concern with the hurt, feel divine. You'll emerge as the pure they'll enshrine. Universe isn't first, it's on time. You live yours, I live mine, no cosign.
$1.5 million.
Yeah, Malachi Tony's an explosive play waiting to happen.
Malachi Tony outside. Touchdown, Miami. Barcelona in shotgun. Looking to his left. Sweet. Touchdown with his second pick of the game.
He said as soon as he saw me wear the hat, he wanted to shove it up my fucking ass.
So many people paralyzed by fake problems. See all the negativities impairing all their prophecies. Never fail, always win, gotta be philosophy. This life is one and done, it's an actual anomaly. That's why
United's Darius Butler versus AJ Hawk in the cut.
He has been able to do whatever he wanted all year.
Keontae Scott should have been a Thorpe Award winner. Big 6, baby. Big time play.
Stop it.
Big time play.
Keontae Scott was the stadium.
All right, Foxy, you better tell me if you're filming him. I do not give consent.
Not in this moment.
Keep on. Yeah, buddy. Crib that thing.
Got a mismatch over there with Jeremiah Smith.
That's where he looks. Jeremiah Smith catches,
touchdown. This is Texas. You can't hold up. Touchdown.
I caught it.
Oh,
You did?
no.
Caught him on the head.
Shamar Brown off the gut. No loss call by Ohio State. Touchdown. Hurricanes. This game is over. The Miami Hurricanes have won the Cotton Bowl. Good for you. Good for you. I need that Ohio State jersey. It's time to put belt. Oh, no.
Cheers to all you motherfuckers. Appreciate you. Cheers. Have a good day.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year's, boys.
Hey, it's been a hell of a year. That's why AJ always like to say the good old days we're living on this breathless stress. God bless. We killing them perspectives of necessity. These days especially, so if you wait, you should take some time to live a pleasant trees. Anchors out, identify. Life is late, I guess that's why.
A couple times last night, I could have got you with a double leg.
You're going to get nice and beat up when I see you.
Indiana Hoosiers are winning the Rose Bowl.
What do you do?
Are they getting in the paint? Oh, what a grab! What a grab!
Unbelievable. What a start for IU. Indiana's going to be up by 10 points against Alabama.
Breaks a tackle. Breaks two balls. Jump ball. Touchdown. Omar Cooper Jr. Elijah Surratt. Touchdown in the corner. Touchdown. Hoosiers. Walk down the IU bench. Saw Mendoza. Job well done, buddy. And then we happen to run into Sid. Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. There's some things that USA has that nobody else does. College football is one of them. And a B-2 stealth bomber is another. Greatest country on earth, no questions asked.
I just got a red, white boner.
I think I got a little freedom erection happening as well.
Indiana Hoosiers, dude.
Fucking different in the Big Ten, baby. Yeah!
That's why AJ always like to say the good old days we're living on this breathless stress. God bless. We killing them perspectives of necessity. These days especially, so if you wait, you should take some time to live a pleasant dream.
Legends everywhere. Ray Lewis just stopped by. And then Calais Campbell's walking by. This is what it is. Give me the Miami Hurricanes. Lacey being MVP tonight as he pops one open for an all-miss tunnel. Potentially last play before the 2-minute timeout. He takes a shot to Marion, who's wide ass open. Touchdown! Marion, who once attended Darius Butler's football camp. Quick to Malachi Tony, one of the most explosive players in football. He breaks through. Malachi Tony to the clip. Trinidad. Carson Beck. He's going to run it himself. Congratulations, football. Congratulations, society. The U is back.
AJ always like to say the good old days we're living on this breathless stress. God bless. We killing them perspectives of necessity. These days especially, so if you wait, you should take some time to live a pleasant dream.
Double leg at the natty. It's coming. Double leg at the...
Crush you, brother.
Shotgun. Pick six to start this. Fernando Mendoza spinning it. Touchdown. Omar Cooper Jr. Fernando Mendoza takes a shot to Becker. Touchdown. Hoosiers. Shake, rattle, touchdown. This ref incredibly jacked. Oh, man.
Indiana Hoosiers are going to national championship.
So many people paralyzed by fake problems. See all the negativities impairing all their prophecies. Never fail, always win, gotta be philosophy. This life is one and done, it's an actual anomaly. That's why.
Win their first national championship. Ty, what's Sig saying here?
Hey, that's BS. Look, he's right under the chin strap. My quarterback's not even looking. He's taking one right in mine. Knock his teeth out.
Joyce
Pearson to punt. He's been out here a lot.
Fernando keeps it himself. I'm going to run. Mendoza! Mendoza! Carson back to Malachi. This dude's unstoppable. Can he do it again for Miami? Takes a shot. Interception! Jamari Sharp says, give me that. And the Hoosiers of Indiana are your national champions in football.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the DraftKings Thunderdome. On this Big Ball Tuesday, August 18, 2026, hour 3 of the program begins now. Football is the greatest. That is AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys is here. 9-year NFL vet Darius J. Butler is here.
Yes, sir.
All the boys in the back. Great work back there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through all the news of the day here as we wrap up this glorious Big Ball Tuesday. Obviously, we know Keenan Allen signed with the Indianapolis Colts. We love that. Hey, congrats to the Colts.
Slayer.
We need him, AJ. We need this guy. He played all 17 games last year. Obviously, an efficient player. He ranks amongst only Hall of Famers whenever it comes to receptions before the age of 34. The stats are outrageous. The number feels good for a wide receiver that we're definitely going to use. Tyler Warren will be our number one. Alec Pierce will continue to take the top off. Josh Downs, Caleb Downs' older brother, will be in our slot. Keenan Allen will be able to work a little bit of magic. And if Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, looks anything like he did last year at the beginning of the year, Keenan Allen's going to feast with the Shane Steichen offense. I love the signing, AJ. Why do you think this happened now, maybe instead of earlier or later in training camp?
I don't know. I mean, I guess with Alec Pearson, his as you guys say, he's just a weird walker. I guess how he's walking, they felt like he wasn't as far along maybe as they thought he would be. And I mean, you got the opportunity to sign Keenan Allen, a Hall of Fame receiver who had a good year last year, and like you said, played 17 games. That's the biggest thing. You don't want to sign a guy that for the last couple of seasons only plays 5, 6, 8 games per year. Like the fact that he's able to play every game. I think a lot of the things too, the off the field stuff, the meeting room, the little tricks he can teach the young guys. And it's a no-brainer, I think, to sign him, especially for what, 1 year, $8.5 million, something like that. Yeah, why not?
That's with incentives. That's up to that amount. So who knows? Probably $6 million, maybe. I don't know, $7 million, maybe with a little over $1 million in incentives. Maybe $5 million with a bunch of incentives. And you mentioned what D-Bud mentioned earlier in the wide receiver room. You know, in the locker room, in the team meeting room. Having another experienced vet, who works his ass off is obviously a good thing for the culture as it continues to go, D-Bud.
Yeah, when we always talk about being a pro, Dano was talking about it yesterday with DJ Moore, just being on the same page with your quarterback, understanding the intricacies of the offense, which he does because he's played with Shane Steichen before. And that, for the people that don't know, that's where players spend the majority of their time, are broken off into their individual meeting rooms. Team meetings, that's where we spend the least time. Unit meetings, offense and defense, special teams, and then you go and you break it down within your group. So having a vet like this, almost another coach in there, honestly, to just coach you up. And I would assume, I'm not in there, but I would assume Keenan Allen isn't a guy who's like worried about, you know, his role or where he's going to be, how he's going to fit in with the team. He's an OG, he's a vet in the room. So I love everything about this. The locker room vibes are important when you bring the room. I reposted a clip, I think, this morning. On the opposite side of this, a young guy, Devin Witherspoon, getting paid. And then we saw on Hard Knocks just the view of him walking into the locker room and how, you know, everybody loves his guy and love that he's getting paid. And that lets you know you either paid the right guy or signed the right guy.
To your point there, this is the clip he's talking about. Another episode of Hard Knocks tonight coming off what they're saying is one of their best episodes of all time. Feels like it's going to happen again. Run this. Remember salary cap. He's taking money out of other people's pockets, allegedly, if that's how everybody on the internet acts. All right, come look for the motherfuckers down here.
It's a linebacker.
Boy, let me have a moment. Hey, you want last? You want last? You want last? Man, appreciate that. I'm a member. Pensacola, and
Hey, bro. Righteous moment, righteous
Could you
moment.
imagine if he fucking comes out doing the Shane O'Mac? I love that was the team's reaction because I mentioned it there at the beginning. Salary cap business. So anytime you pay somebody the most in the history, that's obviously dollars going out of the rest of the roster. Now, if you work for a company that is like $140 billion in its total, I don't think it has an actual salary cap. It just utilizes, some situations to potentially change the trajectory of the way they're headed. But in the NFL and in most professional sports, there's a cap. Mm-hmm. So somebody getting the biggest amount of money in the history of that position, naturally, you can look at that and be a little bit envious, a little bit zealous, a little jaded, because that means what's going to happen to you. Instead, it was the complete opposite. Yep. Everybody's incredibly happy for him. Everybody's pumped up for him. They're celebrating him in the real moment. That goes to the culture, which also leads to the Richard Sherman, Coach McDonald conversation about how after they won a Super Bowl, Sherman was talking to Coach McDonald out there, how guys started changing a little bit, started looking at money, who was getting the money, and McDonald was like, I don't even... Yeah, we just work, man. We just work here. And Richard's like, it's vastly different than what we had or whatever. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess. Like, the way McDonald views it and the way that locker room is and the way they played last year, it's like he has his culture already in there. Seems like he has his pillar guys in there. Seattle Seahawks are going to be a problem for, the next 10 years? 10, 15 years regardless here. And that NFC West is stacked with young coaches who have a culture in place and also their guys in place. Good for the Seahawks, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for the Seahawks. As long as they get Sam figured out and then the quarterback after that, yeah, they're going to have a long, long run. Obviously, Mike Mack coming from the Baltimore Ravens tree, so he kind of had an idea coming in of what it's like to win consistently year in and year out. And then the Hard Knocks has been really, really good for this team. It's not good for some teams. We've seen it happen with the Giants in the offseason and stuff like that, but it's been really, really good for this team. I think everyone after watching this Hard Knocks has improved their thought on the Seahawks, even though they just came off a Super Bowl, so it's hard to even improve your thoughts on the Seahawks, but they've done it.
Ty, Hard Knocks, hard to reinvent.
Yes.
Okay? Hard Knocks was kind of hitting AJ. We all saw it with Hard Knocks. We didn't like it because we loved Hard Knocks, but it was kind of hitting,
big time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're just doing it because we do it. Like, Hard Knocks is coming out because Hard Knocks is coming out. Oh, we got a new in-season one. This one's going to be crazy. And it's like, okay, so we're just watching like digital media from the team's websites in the middle of the season on HBO. Cool. All right, that's cool. But nothing really groundbreaking. The Giants one? Great.
Awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah. Terrible for the Giants. So we thought it would be difficult maybe for them to get another team to agree to do that. Turns out, yes, nobody wants to do that ever again. So them being able to go back to the well, the training camp Hard Knocks, the OG, get the Super Bowl champions.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a team that is good at football at least, as opposed to one of the bums that – sorry, you're still in NFL. But
that's real,
that
though.
is a big deal, though. I agree. But also, the content they're getting, I think because the Seattle Seahawks aren't big content players. Like, I think we're learning about a lot of their players. I think we're learning about McDonald. I think it is going back to the OG days of Hard Knocks here, it feels like. And I think that's why we're enjoying it so much.
Yeah, without a doubt. And part of that is them being in Seattle and us just being so far away and not really hearing about them. But I think a big part of it, too, was for whatever reason, for a long time there, Hard Knocks kind of became just the, hey, let's follow these three guys who are probably going to get cut, but like it's going to be kind of their story of, hey, they're trying to make the team. That is the defending Super Bowl champion. So like a bunch of undrafted rookies aren't going to be making this team. So they're doing exactly that. It's like, hey, let's spotlight these guys who are going to be big players for the Seahawks that we still don't really know, but because we didn't care about that stuff. It's cool seeing a guy, almost make the team, but then ultimately it's like, we're never going to hear from this guy again. So I don't really care.
Connor, is there any zany hobbies that we're exploring this year? That became like one of their
exactly.
things.
Hey, this guy's gonna go paint on his off day.
Yeah. Rocks. Guy's got to go charge his rocks with his dad. Like, okay, all right.
Shout out the Rocks.
What are you doing in the NFL? Now, shout out to those rocks. They get people through a lot of times. And hell, if a rock is going to make my life be more positive, I will certainly roll with said rock. That's possible if people are doing that. But I do think they kind of lost the plot a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they were trying to get things that nobody else would get. Nobody else will focus on the fifth string tight end who's potentially going to become maybe an artist someday. So let's tell his story in-depthly whenever we only get 1 hour really inside these every single week. I'm happy they stopped with that. It's seemingly, I don't know, I'm not watching every episode of the Seattle Seahawks one. I'm only seeing like clips. I did watch all of last week's, so I don't know what to expect tonight. But I'm happy they're done with the zany stuff just to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And it's the main players though. Like that's the other thing. It's not Kajust, the tight end from Cleveland that didn't make the team with the Rocks. It's Leonard Williams, who has a garden and he's like very passionate about his garden, and so like they dove into
so
that.
we are doing this stuff.
Derek, but they're stars.
We're doing this stuff.
Derek Hall, the guy who got too close to Sam Darnold a couple of times, he rebuilt his massive truck that is absurd size, but he rebuilt it on his own. So they're still diving in. But that is the thing. Like, it's Seattle. They're coming off a Super Bowl, and it's Seattle. Like last year, we've talked about it before. Because they're way out there, you don't talk about them that much. You know, the Jets, the Giants, the Bears, they get a bunch of conversation in season, during the season. So when it's Hard Knocks on those teams, it's like, well, yeah, we're already talking about them. When it's Seattle, where you don't spend that much time during their Super Bowl run talking about them really until the playoffs, till the end of the season when they're playing for the 1 seed. Like now with the Hard Knocks, I feel like there's a lot of curiosity about the team themselves, and because now we're finding out about Mike McDonald, Super Bowl champion head coach, and all these players who are Super Bowl champions, it's like this is awesome diving into the team even more.
How much did they sell for? $10 billion or whatever?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Just sold for $10 billion. Win a Super Bowl, sell for $10 billion, have Hard Knocks. Feels like life's good for the Seattle Seahawks. Now, we have to talk strictly for our show because we don't talk enough about the Seahawks either. If there was a Seattle Seahawks fan, like in sports media, I think that would help. Mina?
Yeah.
Mina would be the only rep, really, on a daily basis. She's really the only one in there. Because, I mean, we talk about the Packers a lot because you are a Packers owner. Obviously, we talk about the Patriots a lot because you are a Patriots owner. Not that we wouldn't, especially with how good of a football team they are. But, like, Seattle misses, I think, on our particular show and other shows, NFL Live, Mina obviously rep, but, like, I think it misses that. Nobody's, like, banging the drum to talk about the Seattle Seahawks.
Well,
and they should, though, after they watching these Hard Knocks. I think this McDonald guy is worthy of the conversation with the way he goes about leading and coaching.
Yeah, without a doubt. And even that, like with Mina, she's like, I don't pretend to be like an analyst. Like, it is very well known that, like, I'm a Packers fan. Yeah, I watch all the games, but, like, she's on NFL Live.
Who else do you like?
I like Hawkeyes. Hey, fucking Jeremy Raisin Hecklinski and Tom Moore is still going into the football building every single day at 3 a.m., coaching up Hecklinski. And obviously, I love my Yankees. Outside of that, I
got a receiver out there.
This guy,
Tony Diaz.
this is the quarterback for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yeah, that's right. Raisin Hecklinski.
Yeah, raising so much heckling.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but what you say is I don't even pretend not to be biased. I mean, you have an Iowa you have a Yankees hat on.
Right.
These are your teams.
Exactly.
That you are a massive
fan.
Right,
and she's on NFL Live. She still has to be an analyst. They're not just going to devote, like, okay, Mina, go ahead and spend 20 minutes talking about the Seahawks. Like, they're not going to do that. You afford us the opportunity to do that when we, so it's a little bit different.
When you're feeling a little extra spicy about LaFleur and getting his LaFlowers.
Right, but I do agree. If there was, like, a prominent voice like that who was just a Seahawks fan, like, we probably would hear and talk about him a lot more.
Pundit.
Yes.
Right? Is that the name?
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, Adam Ray are the closest we have.
Adam Ray, I think, is a big part. Like, Adam Ray actually pounding drum for Seattle Seahawks on every show he gets an opportunity. So what we're saying is Seattle Seahawks need a pundit. Somebody needs to become a Seattle. Bone.
Yeah, why
not?
No,
who are we trying to push him towards?
Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee Titans. He's a Titans fan, period. He is no longer a Bills fan.
Correct.
Sorry, Bone. Get rid of all your Bill shit that you bought. You are a Titans fan.
Yeah, but Josh Allen's an actual farmer.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. It was a pretty compelling argument that he gave in return. So maybe he should be able to.
No, I love
that sick jersey.
Yeah. Well, the Titans jersey. Yeah.
No. The Bills when he had last season. I don't know if you guys remember.
The worst.
Are you talking about the Josh Allen baseball jersey?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
the worst.
One of one.
Yeah, one of one indeed.
We need to get him a Nickel City Josh Allen baseball jersey.
Or Deion Dawkins one.
So sweet.
Oh, you already know.
That'd be sweet. Yeah. And also just with the Seattle Seahawks conversation, like it's not only us because, I mean, they're not even the favorites to win their own division. And they're the Super Bowl champions. Like, that's the other part of it. Like, they might be the only – I don't know if they're the only team ever to win the Super Bowl and then not be the favorites the year after to win their division. But, like, they're in the toughest one. They have the Rams, who are the shortest odds to win the Super Bowl, at least in the recent memory. Like, we looked it up. The last team to win the Super Bowl while going into the season with being the favorite was the Chiefs, and they were plus 600. So they're better odds than – the Chiefs were during the middle of their dynasty.
What year was that?
That was 2023.
That was their.
I think that was their second go. And then they didn't get the three-peat. So it was the second one they won back to back that year. Then they lost the year after.
Are we forgetting about them too as we pivot away from the Seattle Seahawks? Because I'm watching Travis Kelce turn back the hands of time. Shimmy shake. This guy got into it with Kenneth Walker on the sideline a couple weeks ago.
Can't guard that.
Travis Kelce's running down and saying, I've been fucking doing that to people for 20 years. 20 years I've been doing that to folks. A lot of people saying 17 needs to get fired immediately. Yeah. I don't like that strictly because Travis just set that guy up with a triple deke, bro. Yeah. I mean, he's been doing that to guys for a long time. And also, he has a three-way go on that particular play, I do believe, is what the DB's about to say here.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier with the Keenan Allen signing, with him having the most catches as an active wide receiver, and this guy has more catches than him. So he's been doing this a long, long time. And if you watch the clip again, you can just see almost kind of the intricacies of route running. You can see when he fakes the end route, he turns his head in there as well, and then just boom. And I mean, watching it, obviously sitting here in this chair from this mic is like, come on, keep your leverage. If he does go inside, just chase him out. You're faster than him. But that is why this guy continues to get open. That is why the greats continue to be great, because when their physical abilities start to diminish, it's the mental, it's the little small things that they get better at. So I mean, he's ran this route 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times with Patrick Mahomes. So he will continue. He can get open on this route for another 5 years if he wanted to.
Travis looks explosive. He looks much more explosive, a little bit more bouncy, springy this year than maybe years past. Obviously, it's been a concerted effort for him to, play how he thinks he should play football. I think the last couple of years he has thought to himself, we can't go out like that. We can't go out like that. We got to keep going. And if he's going to keep doing this to 20-year-olds, 20-some-year-olds. Okay.
Is that a Lowy?
Yeah.
All right, so
you're saying
I kind of take back what you got to keep your outside there. Because running back, I thought this was I didn't know Aloy was 17, even though we did show the Kenneth.
Yeah, he got in a fight with Kenneth,
Yeah, you got to keep that outside leverage. So start this one more time. So you see him slide, pause. So right now he has outside leverage. So Travis Kelce knows he has an out route. So this is bad for Travis Kelce. Outside leverage versus an out route, defense wins. So then he straightens him up, then gives him a little eat at the top, throw the head inside, boom. Now he's open. So once his head and eyes go inside, Gilman's eyes go right to the quarterback. Let it play, boom, and he's fucked. So this is what Coach Gilhammer, my former DB coach, would say, hey, stop eye-fucking the quarterback and have your discipline, keep your leverage. So, yeah, Aloy Gilman, he should learn from this, but he's too good to get beat by this route at this point in his career.
Hey, Travis Kelce's on the all-everything team forever.
Yep.
And Aloy just experienced why the old dog's been doing that for a long, long time. Him running down that side like going, oh, my God.
Gotcha.
Oh, my God. I couldn't even imagine around that field the amount of, Alohi in the moment understands what's about to happen on the internet.
Oh, yeah.
And it certainly is part of the dog days of camp, obviously. This is going to happen. You have one rep. Remember, he was on the field for 2.5 hours. You have one rep. Everybody sees it. And for me, seeing Travis do this and seemingly been doing this all camp, feels like they're in a great headspace. Nobody's talking about the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes skipping around, they're saying, fresh off that surgery. They got EB back in the building.
Yep. That's another one too, though, where you look at the odds. Like I feel we are talking about because they're so great. Like they have the AFC, the Denver Broncos went to the AFC Championship, and the Chiefs are still favored to win the division. It's like, it's insane.
Now, remember on these future bets, too, the sports books are trying to balance the money.
Yeah.
So it might be the bettors that are running the odds.
Denver's third? That's so disrespectful.
But that's the other thing with the Chargers. The Chargers, every year we do it with the Chargers, and it sucks that they already got that injury today.
Not just that injury. Have you heard Schefter reported?
Oh, yeah.
Here's from the joint practice of the Chargers-Niners. Good lead-in. It's like you're hosting your con, man. Schefter puts out a tweet. It's not just Biadasz. Yep.
You nailed it the first time, though.
Biadasz? It's not it.
Tyler.
I hate that it happened to Tyler because obviously he just got paid big, and Herbert needs, literally, offensive line. Linebacker Kyle Kennard, wide receiver, who's been having a huge camp. Obviously, it would be a big deal. All got injured during their joint practices with the 49ers. And, AJ, your immediate response to this is what?
I think I said the 49ers are laying the wood, it sounds like.
Yeah, it does sound like they're a little bit more physical, but maybe they just got unlucky. That is also a huge part of the entire training camp preseason is just getting unlucky. Yeah. And hopefully your team gets lucky out there. Speak about getting lucky. So Jeannie Buss, when her dad passed, who was the owner of the Lakers, I guess wrote in that she runs the team and then everybody else has equal portion of something, okay? Those 5 got fired, okay, by Jeannie Buss. Once Jeannie Buss sold the company for $10 billion and kept 17.8%. So they were still making money off their percentage because it was split, but they were fired from the building. Then it comes out that those 5 actually voted, you know what, we're actually allowed to do this. From a tag-along clause, Sean's brought up, they vote, let's sell, if this Walter guy sells this, we're allowed to sell our piece alongside of him. And I believe Jeannie and the Buss family assumed that this Mark Walter guy would own at least a piece of this for a long time, and they'd be able to do this entire thing. Instead, he's getting out of there as soon as possible. They can exit gracefully. It's an extra $340 million a piece. So they vote to say. Then Jeannie comes out and goes, who says that you 5 matter at all? I have a thing that says I matter, and you don't. So this is going to get held up in court forever. Mark Walter, from our understanding, needs this to happen quicker than anybody else potentially. By the end of a year, he needs to have some things straightened out, I guess. So this is headed to the courts. Shams Charania's name was named 6th. Shams was the 6th word of this letter from Jeannie Buss's counsel about how this whole thing is going. Craziness out of the Los Angeles Lakers. But this isn't even really the only absurd story. Yesterday it was reported that Steve Ballmer didn't do anything.
Yeah, saw the damn thing.
Steve Ballmer didn't do anything. Had no idea Kawhi Leonard was getting paid by a tree company. That's his own deal. He's doing, I ain't doing this shit. What are we talking about? Okay, that's what Steve Ballmer says. Then it comes out, Steve vindicated, actually. Steve Ballmer had no idea. Then, an hour later, nobody fucking knows. Okay, that's what the NBA says. We'll let you know. Okay, we'll let you know whenever we're done with our investigation with that whole thing. Because this obviously is holding up the Kawhi Leonard trade to Toronto because nobody knows if he's going to be suspended, if Ballmer's going to be suspended, if any of those things. So the NBA yesterday, I would say, cooking with gas. I would say they were absolutely on fire yesterday with news being real, not real. Hey, Steve Ballmer didn't do shit. Okay, we'll tell you if that's real, says the NBA. Hey, the Busses have sold 17.8% of the Lakers, their final stake. The Buss family's no longer associated with the Lakers. What a run. Okay, I'll fucking tell you if the Buss... It was just like yesterday was outrageous in the NBA, but I guess it's good if you're talking about it. Is that how the NBA views this? Is that how you would view this if you're the NBA? That's because that's like the WNBA. Every day, it's something new that is just like... throwing in there. But it's like, is it good to be talking about? I don't like the NBA news. Is that good that everybody's still talking about, even though it's chaotic?
It's better that they're talking about this instead of NBA players gambling on games. Yeah, I think it's true.
You're saying, look over here. Look over here.
I mean, is that all situated? Do we have all that stuff worked out?
I don't think so.
There's guys going to court. There's all kind of things happening, I feel like.
It is a bit of baseball. Like the NBA is turning into a bit of baseball where like, you talk about the PCAs and the Shoheis and the great stuff that go on, and then all the other stuff, all the drama and controversy is just like unbelievable fodder. Like this stuff is comedy. The fact that this is happening right now.
Multiple movies happening.
Yes.
Multiple series.
A tree company. A seeding tree company. And there's Marvel mock-ups of Kawhi Leonard as a character Groot from Marvel. Like, that is hilarious that this is real.
Yeah, it's and Steve Ballmer's like, put it out.
Yeah.
And then the NBA, this is just like whenever they agreed to the trade. Kawhi was traded to Toronto by both parties. Hey, we're going to do this. And then the NBA said, hold on now. Toronto, you might want to know, right? If this guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Will you guys tell us? We'll tell you when the investigation's over. So what are we supposed to do? Yeah, fucking.
Wait.
Nothing. Then big NBA insiders come out. Turns out Ballmer did nothing. Trade back on. And the NBA once again goes, hey, we're fucking sick of it. We will let everybody know whenever. How much longer do they have? Actually, are they anywhere near being done?
I mean, the season doesn't start until
October?
Yeah, like around Halloween. I mean, obviously you want him to get him up there, but like it seems like I mean, we still got another month and a half maybe that they could drag this thing out.
They're not dragging it. They're doing their due diligence.
They are doing their due diligence, but I think they can probably get
training camp starting a month.
Okay, so we got about 30 more days of due diligence that they can.
We won't care in 3 weeks.
No. I won't care tomorrow.
About anything. 9 days.
It was a big day for him yesterday, though.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a huge day. Should have maybe kept that for like Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, so then you lead right
just
in.
a reminder.
Right in. They need to move their Christmas days to Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
They need to do that.
Yeah, but didn't we already talk about this? And there are NFL games on
this
Christmas
year,
Eve as well.
Yeah. Remember, we're giving them Boxing Day.
Or Little Santa.
Little Santa.
Yeah, December 6th.
Is that the proper day?
Little Santa's usually packed. I would go for Boxing Day, maybe.
You don't think the NBA could get in on Little Santa Day?
No, Little Santa usually booked for the Prem.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Starts on Friday.
So in America, we're good.
Yeah.
So in America, we're good.
But NBA is a
global game.
Yeah.
Now, if an NFL team goes to Europe, which Roger Goodell did mention, multiple international teams, it's going to happen to Marcus Kuhn. Great story. I would like people to know that the guy who did the interview, who can speak very good German, his big, handsome German lad, whenever he was coming out of high school in Germany, him and his dad drove around America dropping off tape of him playing football. NC State gives him a scholarship. He gets drafted, pick 239 of the Giants, has a 4-year career, has a touchdown. Now he's an ambassador for the sport. So he's interviewing Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell says, we're going to Europe, dude. You just need to understand, we're fucking doing this. I'm not just saying this because this makes you definitely happy right now and I'm sitting in a foreign land right now. I'm just telling you that it's going to happen. Inevitable, I guess. For 35 years, they've been talking about this. If you go back to whenever the international team and growth really started, the logistics seem absurd to me, AJ. I'm not 100% sure how that's all going to work out. But if it's going to grow the game, I think we know that the game will do that. Then the NFL will certainly be the ones trying to do that.
Yeah, we know the NFL is going to always consist. They have to find a way to continue to make more and more money every single year. But I wanted to ask Schrags. I mean, Schrags said, logistically, they haven't really figured anything out. But do they have any, are they floating ideas out there? Are they sitting there brainstorming, hey, this is how we can make it work? Because I haven't heard anything yet that I think is actually, plausible.
I'm thinking that they have brainstormed in either one per club meeting or in these league meetings. Because remember, Jim Irsay had a full take on how they were going over there, and then the Concorde plane stopped. So it's like they've definitely, in their meetings, had their conversations. And I think Roger Goodell's big pitch last contract negotiation with them was how do we make more money? It's global expansion. It's this. So I assume it's always been a thing.
I think they say, hey, flight from Miami to Seattle, that'll take you 6 hours anyway. I think they're going to use that as well.
Yeah. But boy, if Elon can get us over to London in just a jet, I mean, that'd be phenomenal for society.
It's coming, right? It's coming in the new Concorde.
NASA's experimental X-59 Quest quiet supersonic jet built by Lockheed Martin. Okay. Successfully achieved its first supersonic flight at Mach 1.1 on June. Mach 1.
That's nothing.
I saw 9 or 10.
Mav went to Mach 10.
Yeah.
That's how he got the government contract.
Yeah, and he landed in the middle of the Mons.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember. Okay. So 1.1.
We got a ways to go.
I don't know. I don't know how fast we're going to be getting to England here with just 1.1. Jeez Louise. It is designed to turn a loud sonic boom into a gentle thump to help lift the ban on commercial supersonic flight over land. That's what I was referring to in the first hour about how these planes, I guess, yes, if we do get them safely up into the sky, Where the fuck are you flying them?
They were shattering windows and stuff in communities, and people were very, very mad about it.
And they were way up there.
Yeah.
It was just coming down from, holy fuck, what's that? It's like, there's Tom Cruise going, so that's what it's going to take. That X-59 Quest, the NASA experimental supersonic jet.
When's that done?
Is what we're depending upon. An experimental single-pilot jet featuring a long 33-foot nose designed to break up shockwaves. A one-third demonstrator testing. Watch this short overview.
I mean, if June 5th was the first successful flight, that thing's not coming to market for a couple of years at least, right?
So if it's 5 years or 10 years, that would be the time, right, for the Titanic of the NFL to start kind of cooking on this thing.
Planning.
How big are these things? Because you moving to an NFL team, that's.
I was going to say, it says that thing
100 people?
the thing that flew was 1/3 of the size of the commercial.
This one says it's not meant for the market.
Yeah, the Boom XB-1 is the direct descendant of the Concorde flight, and I think NASA's kind of prototype is going to hopefully lead to a technological breakthrough for the Boom XB-1.
So the Boom XB-1, 1.7. Mach 1.7.
Okay, now we're talking. A little more.
Now we're getting closer to Tom Cruise. He was told to stand down.
Yep.
And he just kept pushing that thing forward. How about the acting on that?
So good. TC, though,
Yeah.
He actually do it.
Yeah, he was just there flying.
He was doing it.
Don't have to do a whole lot of acting when you're actually flying a jet 10,000 miles an hour.
You're right. I didn't even think about
Tom Cruise would have watched that. I saw another one.
Who?
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I know what you're talking.
They turned that plane sideways.
You saw it.
I did.
They did a little tail whip.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that?
Yeah, poor CGI. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. See, that's the difference is, they'll fucking go do that in front of a green screen, and TC will fucking get in a plane that he owns himself, that he maintenances himself, and he'll go up and he'll fucking fly it on his own with cameras that he installed himself. He'll turn those things on before, he goes up. You ain't seeing that with that goddamn
He's fucking
train.
under the hood of these things?
Yeah.
That's why anytime you see him in a garage, he's
Turning
always
wrench.
tinkering.
Yeah, turning wrench.
He's always
all the time.
tinkering. Always.
See at the movies.
He's addicted to fixing engines.
Yes.
He's addicted to it. If he sees one, he's got to do something, Got if he's walking past something that has an engine, and he is in something that is in like a garage or a hangar, 100% chance Tom's touching that engine before he's getting out of the
Check
thing.
it out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Make sure this thing's tight right here.
He always carries tools on him.
Always checks the oil. I see him check
Yep.
the oil before.
Put the dipstick in.
Yeah.
He would do the entire thing. That's TC football.
That's right.
Not this other schlub.
I don't know.
Zuh.
That maneuver. There was two of them. You're right.
Yeah, multiple.
I watched it.
How could you not? I don't know their names.
That's somebody's art. Though,
Or call sign.
Yeah.
Let's remember that.
Yeah.
Let's have respect for that. We don't know their call sign, and that's part of the problem. Maybe we learn the call sign. We'll be a little more appreciative of the tail whips that they were dropping down in there. Did you see them down in the valley?
Oh, yeah, I did.
They were fucking turning that thing sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they even dipped that thing back. You saw them take that thing?
Hell yeah.
That was unbelievable. They called for it, too, in unison. Crawl that thing!
That wasn't how they sounded, though.
What do you mean? How they sound?
I don't know. You got to be. I'm not a good accent guy. Ty,
Oh, okay.
Oh, where are they from?
I can do that. It's Netflix India.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones still open to a substantive move despite adding Von Miller. Here's what he had to say. Jerry Jones always up to something, isn't he? He's always up to something. Even when he does something, he's up to something.
Sit in a substantive trade offer, kind of like you were talking about at the press conference.
Yes. Yes. If we had an opportunity, I would be.
Is it more of a wait and see thing?
And it's as much about what I think of where we are, which I'm more positive than when we started camp, seriously, about what our chances are. And so I think if we saw an opportunity to take a little of the future and put it on this team, I'd do it if it would help us.
Do you see the league meetings as an opportunity?
If you do remember, I said I haven't had eyes on this fucking football team yet. Now I got eyes on them. If I see a weak link and I can go get something, I'll certainly risk the future for that. Jerry Jones, very active. One last hoorah. You know he wants to get back to the Super Bowl, obviously. And no stone unturned. It seems like he's got the guys this year, AJ.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I saw you guys post this up earlier. We were talking about their roster. I don't know. I feel like Shoddy, I give him a ton of credit for what he has done. Like, I don't know if there's as much national attention this year on the Cowboys. I know we always talk about every show has to talk about the Cowboys every single day. I feel like they've kind of been under the radar, but actually everything that does pop out is very positive for this team, especially with this defense and with what Dak has been doing.
You're saying the media gets his script and follows it. Is that what you're saying?
I think so. I think sometimes there might be some of that, yes.
Wow, that's crazy to think about. Let's go to the Jets. Everybody's assuming they're going to be ass this year because they've been ass for a long time. Well, one of their players that is not ass is out for a little bit.
Oh.
Breece Hall will be out 2 to 3 weeks, so he expects to be ready for regular season opener versus the Titans, says Aaron Glenn, talking about the state of the New York Jets. Not a lot of hope, huh, for the Jets? Really?
Hard to have hope.
Outside the building.
Buffalo Bills got a new stadium. Patriots were in the Super Bowl last year. Dolphins got a new head coach. He created no block, no rock. I heard him say that down there. Just feels like the Jets' only combo is Aaron Glenn fired everybody.
Yeah.
And they got Geno Smith at quarterback. And that's it, really. There's really no positive combo about the Jets at all. Is that accurate or not accurate? What do you think?
I mean, I guess we'll see. The only positive, usually the most positive thing going into this part of the year is like a draft class, especially if you draft it high. You talked about David Bailey. He's been good as far as our accounts. Omar Cooper, I haven't heard a ton of great reviews from him, which is another first-round pick. And then Sadiq the Freak, who you look at him, that's somebody you built in the lab. I think he's injured. D'Angelo Pons, their top corner, I think he's been dealing with something. So it's a lot of injuries you're dealing with. A team that's already not, you wouldn't put them at the top probably half of the league when you just look at talent. So, and we all know, Aaron Glenn's coming into this year, he's probably on the hot seat. So it's not a lot of good right now, but we always talk about bunker mentality. So in that building, I'm sure it's positive as it can be, but outside of the building, no, they start very low.
And the building's locked down. Okay, we didn't know any of those picks. Omar Cooper Jr.,
it's a good thing.
Kenyon Sadiq, David Bailey, we somehow didn't know. It feels like every single year before, you knew what the Jets were doing before they actually finalize what they were doing. So baby steps here. Sure, they're going to win 1 game, 2 games. I think one of my favorite bets, Gumpy pointed out to me, the last team to win a game or for them to start 0-6 is like plus 500. Lock that in.
That week one is a big one. And then
I don't know. If you listen to Josh Weinfist about the Cardinals, he says first 11 weeks, tough.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I do feel like before that happens, Jeremiah Love is going to run through a brick wall to get a victory or at least a touchdown to lose by 30. Still, though, Jets not to win a game in the first 6 weeks is great, but baby steps here. They're building. Now, will they have to restart after this year if Aaron Glenn gets canned? If they don't do well again, maybe, but who knows? It's the Jets.
Okay, let's stay in MetLife Stadium, shall we? Najee Harris has been signed to the New York Giants. Obviously, Najee of Alabama and then of the Pittsburgh Steelers, now with the Giants. They will cut Juju Smith-Schuster to make room for Najee over there in New York. Najee Harris has the opportunity to be great. I guess it's just kind of hit or miss on whether or not he goes, right? Isn't that kind of the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, he had 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons to start his career with the Steelers. They didn't pick up his 5th-year option. He went to the Chargers last year, hurt his Achilles in week 2, I believe it was. So he's coming off of that Achilles, so it's almost a year since then. But no, I mean, Najee is going to run hard. Harbaugh watched him twice a year for 4 years, so I think he has respect for Najee and what he can do. I don't know if the missed block had anything to do with that, but him and Scat together, good luck. I mean, they're going for a power run game in New York for sure.
And Patrick Ricard at fullback.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a whole other conversation. Let's talk about running backs even more. Kyle Monangai of the Chicago Bears, he'll miss multiple weeks after a hyperextension of the knee after Grady Jarrett tackle when they weren't in full pads. This kind of led to the entire conversation about being a pro and knowing how to practice. Obviously, Grady Jarrett's a stud. This is something nobody wants to see. He'll be out for a few weeks with a hyperextended knee. Obviously not the right way to start a season, but hopefully he'll be back healthier than ever, D-Bud.
Hope so. We always talk about Caleb Williams and, Ben Johnson's great mind and the genius offense, but a lot of that starts with that run game and that play-action game. So having that two-headed monster back there, he was a big part of the run game. Kind of popped on the scene. I know for me at least, I wasn't very aware of his game, but hopefully he's back out there healthy. Things happen in practice. Sometimes you got to catch yourself. Grady Jarrett, he is a vet. He's been in this league for a long time, so I'm sure he hates that this happened, but hopefully he's out there and he get down running as soon as possible when the season starts.
AJ Foxy says the Bears aren't going to get all the turnovers that they got last year. Okay, that ain't going to happen. They're not going to do it. A lot of people are saying they're going to go backwards. I feel like we thought Ben Johnson was a great coach, found out he definitely is, so they're only going to get better in my eyes. AJ, what do you think about the Bears?
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting, Foxy, saying that. It's true. Like, their defense definitely feasted on getting turnovers. That was a huge reason why they were successful. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the jury is still out, as they say. I think their offense is going to continue to get better and better. I think it's just going to be tough to kind of replicate the turnovers they got last year.
Dan Campbell of the Detroit Lions, staying in the NFC North, he says, I'll tell you what, man, yeah, right. Somebody's going to be taking a challenge flag away from me. Get the hell out of my face. Here he is.
No, I'm not. I'm not giving that flag up to you. Nice. No way.
Why do you want to keep it? What's the?
I just look. The buck stops with me anyway. I'm answering the questions, so why would I give it to somebody else for me to answer for somebody else? It's it all comes to me anyway, and so yeah, that's it.
That's exactly what Shane Steichen said. Shane Steichen, who is a successful challenger. I don't know what MCDC's percentage was in that thing.
It was pretty solid.
Pretty solid. I like that. We did the breakdown on coaches' throws versus successful overturns as opposed to just expedited reviews. Shane Steichen was like 6 of 8, I think, 75%. He was throwing it a lot and getting it right. We asked him immediately without even looking into it or any thought. He said, well, it's going to have to get run through me anyway, so why would we? I don't think. You'd have to have a lot of trust for somebody else just to have that and throwing without asking the coach's permission. Feels like the head coach is going to get asked anyway. So if I'm going to end up getting asked, they're all saying, why would I not just be the one that ends up throwing it? I wonder who wanted them to change this rule. Yeah. I wonder who wanted.
Did someone propose this? Did someone propose it in the meetings?
Somebody would have had to pitch it, right? I mean, somebody would have had to bring it up.
Because who's going to give it up? Have we heard any coach say that they will give it up? Because you're true. Like, you're talking in the headset, the guys are watching the replay up in the booth and everything. Okay, should we throw it? We would do it. Like, why would it? You're going to add another step if it's not the head coach.
Yeah, longer maybe, and you missed the window because we're trying to get a play started. I mean, Vrabel, I think, was very clear about if he's going to do it still with how he threw his in that preseason game. But I wonder who pitched the idea that the coach is allowed to pawn it off on delegate it off onto somebody else.
It definitely wasn't a coach because all these guys, like you said, can you imagine if someone just threw one without running it up, like that guy would be shot in the head if they lost that challenge.
Yeah, fired.
Yeah, legit. I mean, it's just like none of these. It's not like they have so much going on that how many coaches, first-time coaches, sometimes like forget the challenge flag in like the locker room, maybe, but like that's never. I don't think I've ever seen an instance where when a coach wants to challenge a play, they don't have their challenge flag. Like it's not like it's some burden that they need to do it. Like these guys need to be able to do it. They're obviously not going to relinquish that to anyone else. And like you said, I mean, it's like you already have someone in your ear, maybe. Like I don't know who thought that you needed someone else to throw this.
I'm going to tell you, if this was something that was real whenever me and Vinny were playing, we would have been pitching Chuck to give us the fucking flag. Give us the flag, and we will throw it whenever. Okay? You just know that this is taken care of because we're just watching the Jumbotron anyways. So if they had a good Jumbotron operator, which I think in the rules they have to. I forget what the rules are now because you can't get the home field advantage by not showing it in the NFL. I think there's some sort of ruling system that you have to have. Yeah.
Don't they show whatever is what the ref is looking at or what they're putting it on TV?
They're putting best angle or whatever has to go up onto the Jumbotron, and there's a certain amount of time it has to be shown up there too. Because
Is that a new rule?
Yeah.
It has to be because they used to. I listened to them. I listened to people talk about home games. If it's not good for your home team, you're going to slow roll that replay. You're not going to play it right away on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, that was a full scheme, obviously. Like, hey, we can wait just like half a couple here so we can get up to the thing and do it. Then they had to regulate that.
Okay.
They had to like say, hey, you have to show the thing, and then obviously you got more guys up in the booth now that are able to see every single thing. So we have more eyes on replays than ever before, and. I guess what's being reported in the back is that Zach Taylor, it's called a Zach Taylor rule because apparently the Bengals head coach was already doing this. The Bengals hired Taylor in 2019. During his first year on the job, he decided to let the chief of coaching staff, Doug Rossfeld, throw the flag. That's how the team has handled things ever since.
Well, that makes sense.
What's that from?
That's how the Bengals are the Bengals.
That's from ESPN?
The Zach Taylor rule.
What website is that?
I believe it's just... CBS Sports, but yeah, he said it at his press conference that they've just been breaking this rule since he got the head coaching job.
Interesting. Never noticed.
Should they be kicked off the tour, Doug?
Yeah.
Why would Zach not want to?
Okay, now that could be an owner.
It's a new school dude move.
He's locked in on calling plays. Is he still calling plays?
I think so.
He's got Callahan back? No. Where's Callahan at?
We just talked about him yesterday.
Just mentioned it.
Ooh, 10
Giants.
No.
Giants.
He's with the Giants. We have Greg Roman, Brian Callahan, Matt Nagy. Obviously, we basically have like every salty old offensive coordinator you could possibly have, except for Todd Monken because he, went to the Browns.
Coach.
And he still can't get a guy to block for the fucking quarterback.
Yep, that's right. Now we got Naj.
Now Naj will.
Naj will certainly
stick his face in.
Naj is a house.
Yeah,
he is
ginormous,
thick.
Not that Scadaboo isn't, and Patrick Ricard isn't, and everything like that, but Naj is a giant. I think you forget about that whenever you're talking about him. More size. They got a lot of girth over there at the Giants.
That staff, I mean.
I think I used the word cuck in the proper fashion.
You did. And I'm just thinking about the names we just rolled off. Like, that staff has probably been gone after collectively more than any other staff in NFL history. You talk about, like, internet and, like, I mean, Matt Canada had a terrible run, but that's Nagy, Roman, who else? Callahan.
Has Gase on there somewhere?
I mean, even Harbaugh was in the hot shit the last 2-3 years, like with his, game management, or I know he's a big analytics guy too, but that staff, I mean, they've been hard.
Yeah, maybe it's a bunker mentality by the coaching staff. How many coaches does everybody have?
A lot. 20-ish?
Unlimited.
Yeah, they changed that, right?
Because you don't have to, they're getting paid from somewhere else. They just come hang out at your place, I guess, for a season. Kind of learn what it's like.
Do they have rules like college does? Like college coaches come back and they're consultants or analysts, but they can't go on the practice field. There's those kind of coaches too.
Rich Rod was talking when we were with him during the baseball run for WVU. He was talking about how, like, my first run here, I had like 13 coaches altogether, 13 people. He said, now I ever see like 60 people. There's like
crazy.
There's like so many people in this entire thing, just because you can have consultants and. Obviously, you got food people and you got lifestyle people and
advisors.
So many
to the consultants.
So many mentors now. You got a mentor to a consultant, which is an assistant to a coach, which is an assistant coach for a position. It's like, geez, Louise, if we just get enough brains in the building, we're going to win. Is that what it is? Or does everybody kind of counteract each other? Because when Vrabel was in Cleveland, they didn't win. Then he goes up to New England and gets him the Super Bowl. So what was he doing in his office in Cleveland all season?
Yeah, and like Sig. Like, how many coaches does Sig have at IU, you wonder? Because they've just had the same
staff.
Core the entire time, basically.
Well, somebody left and then came back, right? Didn't
Sinceri.
Yeah, Sinceri leaves. Okay. Doesn't work. Come on back. We'll try to win another one here. They got Shanahan, Haynes, Sinceri, Signetti.
That might be it. I don't want a bunch of fucking guys on my sideline, okay? I got 5 coaches. I know what these guys do. Everybody else can get the fuck off the sideline.
Here is their coaching role as head coach Signetti, defense coordinator Haynes, and linebackers. You're coaching 2 things, by the way. You got a position group and the entire coordination. Wide receivers, you got Shanahan and he's the offense coordinator. Sinceri, welcome back. Special teams and tight ends, not just doing one job. Yeah, right. Grant Kane, he's doing that. And then you got a run game coordinator, offensive line, Bob Bose. Everybody has multiple jobs here. Okay?
Old school.
Everybody's coaching multiple things. And from our understanding, Sig coaches them.
Yes.
And then they coach the players. Like, if Sig's talking to the player, it's like something of grave importance or of necessity. Other than that, it's the lads doing the coaching, and he's on the ash of the coaches on why is this happening, why is this not happening. He has an interesting form of leadership, and I think having the continuity of all his boys stick with him, I think, is a huge part of Indiana's success, which is why we should assume, and everybody's assuming, they're going to be great again. Like, that is kind of just the assumption at this point.
And also probably why these guys are willing to stay and not just go look for a head coaching job, because they don't feel like they're micromanaged. It's like you actually get to coach. You don't have to go seek a head coaching job somewhere because you have a guy who still is pretty much doing everything and you just have a title.
And can the kid spin it, Hoover?
He can definitely spin it.
Is Indiana going back-to-back?
They're going to be nasty.
Decent chance.
Until further notice.
Well, Ton's got Oregon, number 1.
Mm-hmm. I mean, those...
Ohio State, number 2.
Those top 7 are very, very nitpicky.
Indiana isn't even the best team in Indiana in Ton's eyes.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Let alone in the Big Ten.
That's bullshit, Tone.
They're only, in my power rankings, they're only a point 0.1 off each other.
Oh, okay. We didn't see the exact score.
Who was number 1 in your power rankings?
It was actually the Buckeyes.
So you said, I'm going to override my power rank?
I did, actually.
You just couldn't see it with the Buckeyes.
Fucking eye test. I love it.
Listen, I think they're going to have the best offense in the country to start the year, for sure.
Did you see Chris Henry?
Yeah.
Freak.
Yeah, Chris Henry Jr. is doing workouts. We're not even talking about Jeremiah Smith, obviously.
Their entire offense is back. So that's not going to get worse.
And they added Chris Henry Jr.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who is another...
6'8".
Probably fill right in for Carnell.
Boom. Bah, bah, bah.
My brain is just like...
Just feels like that would hurt so bad.
Well, to the average. The Slim Jr.? Yeah, right. His joints were made for it, guys. Remember, he's been training with Pac. Pac ran what, like 4.2 or whatever? Yeah. Pac-Man Jones ran like a 4.2. He's been training with him his whole life, you know, pretty much. And his dad's genes, like his dad, outrageously athletic. His mom, I believe, big, strong as well. I think his entire family, massive, obviously athletes, but like committed to being athletes as well, like whole life. So
those are the workouts right there.
Yeah.
The last one,
The jump spin.
those plyometrics, like that's the cheat code.
Yeah, stop, explode. Also, can all the tiny muscles handle you full go to stop? And it's like, that kid's 18. Good luck, Art.
Yeah.
Art's got that offense?
That's going to be
Don't fuck it up.
I'm very excited for that.
Me
'Cause
too.
Now, a couple years ago, he did it with Chip. And Chip was an established OC, and it worked out great. They won a national championship. And then last year was Heartline. His first year as OC, and Ryan Day was definitely overseeing it a ton. And now you go back to a established NFL OC. It's going to be it's interesting. I don't know what the dynamics are in that room because that's Ryan Day's baby. Like, the offense is his baby. And then you have an established OC coming in. I'm sure the experience with Chip helped a lot in this decision making.
We should call Ryan and tell him congrats, you're number 2 team.
Yeah, love that.
He will. Okay, good. I like that. We lost the game somehow. All right, I like that we did that. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. We appreciate you all so much for allowing us to do this for a living. Congratulations to Gronk. That's definitely in store.
Yeah.
Congrats to PCA. He's doing shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's just like outrageous. Congrats to Tyreek Robinson at the University of Pittsburgh, Pitt wide receiver and returner. He's building up his immune system eating fish out of those fucking rivers.
Yeah, sounds like he's a pretty good angler.
Good for him.
Really good angler.
Yeah.
Now, granted, those fish in those rivers
Might be dead
they're not
already.
seeing bait much. You know, I mean, they're not like
Sure, yeah.
They're hungry.
You see bait down there, like, what the fuck is this? Oh, yeah, right. And then they're getting pulled out. What the fuck? I'm getting kind of pulled here. Go out of the water, look at the human. You don't want to fuck me. This is what Narduz said about him.
Off the field, just little things he drives me nuts with. You know, like eating fish out of the river. That's not a good thing.
Catch of the day?
Maybe a little bit.
Tyreek Robinson. What are you eating right there? This is a fucking largemouth. I thought I pulled it out of the river there. Catfish, maybe.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Who are you feeding this to? Just you? Or is it other people on this football team eating this fucking fish? Just me. All right. Let's stop with the
The amount of lead in his blood right now is.
Yeah, it's a good sign. They're going to be good.
We hope it's just lead. I mean,
Yeah.
Who knows what else is in there? Jordan Tyson, sad.
Tough.
Yeah, that does suck.
Do we think it's... Got to get unlucky at some point. Kellen Moore
Is this a
said...
hammy?
I don't want to say what I think.
Kellen Moore said for the...
You're going to stop now after Jerry Rice?
Yeah, it was so...
No, I mean, talent-wise, we all know what he is. We saw him move. Like, guys that big don't move like that. When he went number 8, we knew the injury history, but this is what we were worried about. And then for Rapshi, I think Rapshi said, not related to the other injuries, that makes me feel worse. Because now it's not the old hamstring injury, it's a new hamstring injury. Be out 2 months. It's a long time. But I'm still optimistic.
Okay, well, we will remain optimistic that this is the last time we hear about this. But Kelly Moe, head coach, said that the reason why it's not related, I think, to the other injuries is he's saying that this was just like a freak accident, basically.
Okay.
Foot slipped, gets hit at the same time, probably tears something in there. Strain is a tear, depending upon how big of a strain it is. And they assume him to be healthy and back, hopefully, after 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
Fucking sucks, man. It's the worst part about football. And like you said, like he had unlucky injuries in college, but like a guy like, Ricky Pearsall, like who never got hurt. And then he just, unfortunate incident. After, obviously, the shooting is a whole nother thing, but like the injuries on the field, just some guys who just get those bad breaks. We all been in the locker room. We've seen it. Guys do great things for, 4 or 5 weeks and they're on the field and then boom, something happens. So I hope it does turn around because we've been talking highly about this Saints team and his role being, the number 2 with Olave there. So I hope he gets out there sooner than later.
Still got Alvin Kamara and Achane in the backfield.
Yep.
Yeah, that's ETN. Chris called him there, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
He did.
Said he's not going to stop either.
Yeah, but he's like friends with them. So.
First year hazing.
Teammates.
Well, have you heard about some of the... Nope. Not going to get into that.
Yeah, probably safe to stay away.
Oh.
Chop up my blow.
It's a good business until it's not.
A lot of movies about it.
Yeah.
A lot of movies about it. Just something to think about. What the hell is going on in the horse racing world? Something Hees is doing it? I don't like what Hees is doing. Listen, if Rapoli's pissed, I'm pissed. I just want to let everybody know that. He wrote the longest article I've ever seen on X. I tried to get through it, but I didn't know all the organizations that he was referring to. Whenever he was saying these people are doing this to this people, it was hard for me to keep track on who was what people. Bruce Brown, former owner of a horse, knows the horse racing world good. What's Rapol pissed off? And in turn, what am I pissed off about because Rapol's pissed off?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these agencies are new. Horse racing, like boxing, doesn't have that central body, and the HISA is an attempt at that. Where basically like all the owners and trainers have to report their vet info to this central body to make sure it's an even playing field, and there aren't situations like we've had in the Kentucky Derby where there are like drugs being given to the horse that aren't allowed in Kentucky but are allowed in California. So it's like all the vet info is going into this database, and then this guy who's been owning and playing in handicapping contests accessed that database and was using the vet info to win handicapping contests. And the way it all came about is that it was like sort of accidentally posted online. Was like his racing form, which is like past performances, had like little notes like received an injection after the race. So then everyone was like, where the hell did he get this confidential vet info from? And then a big part of the problem is this guy was in the jockey club, and there was a meeting like with Rapoli, with all these owners and trainers, horsemen and women. And the guy was in the meeting, and he didn't fess up to it until like afterwards. The investigators went up to the guy and were like, dude, it was you that leaked this and was using this vet info. So it's like basically the governing bodies that are being set up to try to clean up the sport were actually corrupted themselves, essentially. So it's all kind of a hot mess.
Classic horse.
That's horse racing, baby. What are we talking about?
This is just classic. If this was to happen in college football, we'd say classic. If this was to happen in baseball, we'd say classic. This boxing, classic. Horse racing, classic. That's what they're doing. But I do appreciate the fact that they're trying to clean it up. You know, we're trying to get back in there.
Clean up.
Just like every other sport, trying to clean it up so we can survive forever. Hey, Rapoli, fuck, I'll go bankrupt for that. Know that I'm on your team.
Yeah, he should just start cheating, though.
Rapoli?
Yeah.
No, he's man.
Family won today.
Never cheating.
So I was heartbroken for him, man.
I know.
Rapoli. I've had the best horse. I've had the worst horse. I've never won. Okay, maybe today will be the day. You remember that big long post?
Yeah. Close.
Second.
I love Rapoli.
Yeah.
When's he getting out of the spring football stuff? Is that soon?
Hopefully before the next season starts, yeah.
Sounds like he's going to need some horse money.
Bingo.
That's what they're doing to him. I don't like what they're doing to Rapoli. I'd like Rapoli to know we stand with you and your stallions. Unless you get caught doing something we don't like, then we no longer stand with you. But at this moment, we are on Team Rapoli.
That was also all alleged.
Okay? That's what Rapoli was saying. Yes, exactly.
Alleged.
That's the story that Rapoli's Scroller, dude. It was
Oh, yeah. Big time.
It was a...
Breaking.
Put the alerts in there.
Go ahead, you can scroll, I think, faster if you want.
Ooh. Damn.
If he... Just keep going. This thing ain't even close to done, dude. Go ahead.
Oh, I can see the scroll bar now.
That's one of those.
This is on X,
goodness.
dude. This is on X.
Full article.
Still going. There it is. Full transparency. Full accountability. No more bullshit. Period. Signed, Rapol. I fucking like it. Okay, sports are cooking, are they not?
They are.
They never stop. They absolutely never stop. And we're lucky as hell that we get a chance to chat about it. We can't thank all of you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. We appreciate you all so much. And I'll tell you, Thursday, September 3rd, the Rathskeller here in Indianapolis, Indiana. I don't have a time yet, but it'll be in the evening. Let's assume it'll be when it gets darker, so it might be a little later in the evening. First live performance. Potentially, first live performance. I'll say first.
Okay.
What's going on?
I was going to say potentially last.
Oh, don't hamstring yourself.
No. We don't know how this is going to go. We don't know how this is going to go. Excited to see everybody who comes out. I would appreciate if you learn the words, sing alongside me, but it's not just going to be me. We're going to have a full band. I think a lot of the band that did the tracking for the songs, like the best musicians in the world, actually, the people that did it. I'm so incredibly lucky that they spent time and effort. Now, granted, I did pay for it. Obviously, that's part of the business, and you do that. And I would have anyways, even if they offered up to do it free because of how much respect I have for their immense amount of talent. But I do believe it should be a pretty good little musical performance here.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited to get out there and do it. The boys might have a little piece, at the beginning, kick the entire thing off. It should be quite a kickoff to college football season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's week 0 before this, and then week 1 is just 2 days removed from this. So this is going to be a great kickoff to football season as we get started on the road. I'm thankful for it all, man. All right, thank you. Goodbye to you. We will see all of you tomorrow. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me, team on 3 for the good of sport, baby. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.